Welcome to the most horsepowerful podcast on the internet, the Xbox Drive. Before we get this show on the road, please take a moment to like, subscribe, and ring that bell on YouTube, and leave a 5-star rating or review on your podcatcher of choice. If you want to continue the conversation after the show, make sure you join the Carpool Gaming Discord. For exclusive content and all the Carpool shows in one simple feed, head over to patreon.com/carpoolgaming. Finally, head over to carpoolgaming.com for all of your merch needs. Now, with all that out of the way, you better buckle up, Buttercup, because it's time for the Xbox Drive.
Greater than X.
Hey everyone, it's me, Sean Capri. I'm glad you're here because you're listening to the most horsepowerful podcast on the internet. It's the Xbox Drive. I'm on a Skype call with my good friends Ryan Fee, Bowza, and Mitch. Mitch, how you doing there, buddy? It's great to see you. Wonderful, Mitch. I didn't even say I couldn't even interrupt you. Bowza, how the hell are you doing over there, you big dork?
Fantastic.
Good, Fee. Good to see you. How you doing? We're feeling great.
So happy to be here,
And
Sean.
she's not even on mute. That's great. And making their final return. Maybe not final return, but final.
Wow.
The
Final
Ryan.
return. Okay.
Take it easy. It's all unscripted. Finally, the Ryan has come back to the Xbox Drive.
Hi, Sean. Did you know that it's 22 degrees Celsius currently outside?
There it is.
Slightly cloudy with a chance of precipitation later in the evening because we've got a cold front on the way here to
It's a deep cut.
northwestern Ontario. And,
deep cut.
I'm doing okay. Hi.
Oh, glad to see you.
Actually, I
Wow,
forgot
man.
to say also, hello, Sean Capri.
Hello,
Like we used
hello,
to.
Ryan Turford. Yes, the Ryan Turford, the meteorologist on the moose, here with us for a very special episode, number 390 of the Xbox Drive. Only 10 more until 400, Ryan. Very
I know.
exciting stuff.
It's exciting. We're going to have to get a new t-shirt and everything.
We are definitely going to have to design a new t-shirt. We got 10 weeks to design a new t-shirt, and Fee is working on it already. I can see her just scribbling away over there. Oh, yes.
Yep.
Well,
Just
Fee,
changing that 3 to a 4 on the shirt you're wearing, buddy.
that's just it.
Literally just that. Literally just that.
Yeah, just delete and then type in a new, just like what they did with the PlayStation logos.
It's gonna
You
be
know,
like this huge montage of me like bringing up this entire board with like different ideas and like string theory
Vision
and
board.
stuff. And then like the very end, like after spending countless hours throwing out ideas, it's just gonna be me changing that to a 4, and then
That's
it.
right.
Exactly.
I'm here for it.
10 out of 10.
For audio listeners, Sean is currently wearing an Xbox Drive 300 t-shirt, and it's very
Correct.
exciting.
It's one of my favorite shirts that we ever did. But you guys, we got a big show. This is a very special episode of the Xbox Drive because all of us just watched the Xbox Game Showcase 2025, and wouldn't you know it, we're all super positive about it. We all got great things to say about it. A+ all around, I think, is exactly the attitude around here. Mitch, don't you agree?
I sure do.
Wonderful.
It was a great show.
Look, it is a special episode. We didn't record on Friday because we knew this was happening on the Sunday. We will be recording we're back to our regular scheduled programming after all this, so don't you guys worry. But this is going to be a little bit different. We're not going to start the show like we do each and every week with our Geek Outs. We're not going to do What You Playing because there is a lot to cover with what Xbox just showed us. And we're really going to, as far as I can tell off the top of my head, kind of just do the Xbox Showcase, even though there's a bunch of stuff happening at Summer Game Fest. We probably could cover that, but we ain't gonna, because we just watched the showcase from Xbox, and I think we're gonna primarily showcase that if that's all right with you. But I don't know if Mitch is ready with that there housekeeping, if we're gonna do any housekeeping today. We're kind of just going off the cuff here. Oh, there she is. Fee's there, yelling out for the housekeeping. There's a lot of stuff going on. There she,
see
the
what that
quivery,
There
the
you
quivery housekeeping. Pretty
Love
great,
it.
Bowza.
All right, so if you guys were not aware, we kicked off our Extra Life fundraising super duper early this year. And if you donate between now and tomorrow from when we're recording this, June 9th, you're going to be entered into drawings for some early giveaways. We got that beautiful, very limited edition DualSense controller from Extra Life that we got last year. What else do we got? We got some Summer Game Fest merch giveaways, and we have some Xbox codes to give away. So please, go ahead. Hit the link that just went to chat, extra-life.org/participant/carpoolgaming, and make your donations now, and let's do it for the kids. And win
Do it for the
some prizes.
kids.
Do it for the kids.
That big D donation, Bowser.
No, not the big Ds.
No.
Thank you to everyone that supports us over at patreon.com/carpoolgaming. Big shout out to new Patreon supporter Gizmodo16 at the exclusive tier. Welcome on in.
Shout
I was
out.
also glad to see you in the Backtrackers here recently. We love to see new people hanging out. Let's see. What do we got? New Patreon content at that exclusive tier and
So
above.
much.
Garrett's episode of Pants is out now, and I think I'm up next. Is that a
Yeah.
thing? Am I
Yep.
next? Okay. All right, great. I got the schedule right. We have Campfire out. We've got Real movie review. Ryan did a whole movie review. Fantastic content.
Just an hour of Final Destination, baby. Let's go.
Yeah. Ryan
It was
geeking
really
over
great.
movie. Like, I'm here for it, you know?
Yeah.
Love it.
We got Sweet Hangs with Sean and Donnie. Like, it's just popping off over there on the Patreon. You guys don't even know.
You guys don't even know.
I'm in charge of the schedule for the Patreon, and I don't even know what's happening. It's too much.
Okay, that actually makes me
literally
feel a
too
lot
much.
better. We've been struggling this for years, Bowser. We're like, we need somebody to like wrap their heads around this, and we're like, we know the right person. It's Bowser, and they're like, it's
I
still
don't
a
know.
lot, man. It's
You
tough.
see the color of my hair right now?
It's
That's
hard, man.
because
There's
of
a
the
lot.
Patreon content. So
Yep. We the
For audio
Gamercast coming
listeners.
this week too. Like there's tons of stuff. I've had a conversation with Yon32. More still to come. So
Ooh,
we
spoilers.
ain't stopping. Hell yeah.
we're not done yet. We've got 8,000 movie reviews to do
just about
because of you
yeah,
on
give or
CPG
take.
days.
I mean,
Yep.
there might be one coming sooner than you'd think.
yes,
There's a special
there
week
could be
this week.
one.
There's a special
Yes.
holiday on
There's
Friday.
something happening on Friday. I don't know if everyone's aware.
Oh damn it! Yeah, I got to watch that still. Okay,
Did-
yeah, I'm
yeah?
on it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Sean,
no
we
problem.
gotta get on that.
Yeah.
So please
Okay, I
stay
knew that.
tuned on the Patreon. Of course, we also have wonderful merch. Go to carpoolgaming.com. We have Summer Game Fest limited time merch. Don't forget to get that. The Weather Drive, the Mini Indie Van, and all the normal shows. Everything's up there. Make sure you go order your merch now. I think that's it for housekeeping. Get out of here, lady.
Housekeeping.
Bye, Fee.
Housekeeping. Leave, Mitch. Leave. Mitch is off his game. He doesn't have his popcorn today. He already had his popcorn.
I
so
already
he's-
had
he
it.
had it
Yeah, I ate
hours
it during
ago.
the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it buttery? Like what's the
It
buttery
was really
factor
good.
on that one?
Oh, it was really good, bro. It's
Yeah?
really good. I got that movie theater popcorn, movie theater salt. I literally researched it through Reddit of what AMC has, and I actually bought it off Amazon. Exactly what AMC.
Yeah, you do popcorn. You take it seriously. You're like one of those.
I showed
like,
Bowser. She
Yeah,
asked
it's
about you,
good, I'm
Bowser.
telling you. I got
Is
all the
my
stuff.
my method's good? That's also Buzz's method. I want to point that out. Buzz showed me the way too. Just saying.
I need
right.
to join on this train.
I'll send you links. It's
we
great.
should all popcorn cast.
Like it.
Yeah, we
I,
should all
I,
do that.
I already have the idea for the logo, Sean.
Sounds dangerous. Sounds like a choking hazard.
It's
It's already
fine, I'm sure.
happening.
That's just
not
that's such a
dead yet,
dad
we're
move.
good.
Like
Yeah.
you guys are gonna choke. Watch yourself.
Stop running in the parking lot. You're gonna get hit by a car.
Holy cow. Okay, we are recording this on Sunday afternoon after the Xbox Game Showcase. Phil Spencer, he gave us all of our wish and dreams are all coming true. I don't know about you guys, but I've watched trailers for probably 250 games since the PlayStation State of Play. I've watched, I think, almost every single one of them, including the Wholesome Games Direct, the Latin games, the women-led games, everything, right? I think I've seen everything, even that IO interactive one.
Did you not see, Fee's spreadsheet? It's gigantic. There's so much stuff
Yeah.
on here.
It's
Yeah, Fee's-
unscrollable.
It is it's actually crashing Google Sheets. It's crashing the entire dang system. There's been so many games. Today we're going to focus on the Xbox Game Showcase because, of course, this is episode 390 of the Xbox Drive. We had a quick huddle before going live here, and we decided, you know what? We could go through every single one, but we got 5 of us here, and maybe we'll kind of like off the cuff pick our top 3 that were and maybe we'll just leave it at that. Like 3 top games that we were excited about. That keeps it nice and positive. But before we get into that, maybe we want to go around the table. Ryan, we'll start with you on just kind of like high level thoughts on the showcase, and then we'll do roundtable on the top 3s, my friends.
Okay. Well, yeah, what I thought about the showcase, I thought it was fine and fun. I think we were. When we came out of the showcase, we were whelmed, but not like overwhelmed with amazing stuff. But as we've kind of had a little bit of time now between the showcase and the time we record this, and especially now that I've looked at the list of games and then I posted in the Discord even like the games I'm looking to purchase, like I am probably going to be. I'm going to be playing at least half, if not more than half, of the games that they announced here. Which, when you come out of a showcase, that's a pretty good number. So I feel pretty good about the showcase we just watched. Don't get me wrong. I said this at the end of when we finished our reactions, where it almost felt like some of the bigger, kind of, announcements were like tailor made for me in particular, because there, were some things that definitely speak to my interests in particular. But overall, I thought it was fine. It's not Xbox's best showcase. It's not Xbox's worst showcase. I thought it was okay. I won't give a rating because we'll talk about that later, I guess. But I thought it was okay.
Okay, sounds like a 6.5 out of 10 to me, Ryan. That sounds good. Mitch is shaking
Just
his head.
throwing numbers on his thing.
He's like,
Jesus.
specifically, I don't want to give it a score.
Well,
And
you
then
know
he'll
what?
just
did.
No,
I'm
you know
just
what?
being
You
a
just spoiled
dingus.
it, Sean. I'll give it a 7. It's a 7 out of 10.
Okay, rounding up. That's some liberal rounding there. I like it. All right.
It's good, in quotations.
All right, Mitch, let's deal with you. But I don't normally go clockwise or whatever the hell
Go
that
ahead,
means
go
on this
clockwise.
thing. Let's
Go
go to
clockwise. Go
where
for
are
you.
you at? No, we're not doing it. I'm the host
cool.
of the show. I run the show here. All right, what do you
right.
think about this?
Sure
What are
do,
your
boss.
high level thoughts? You son of
I
a
thought
Mitch.
I thought it was a good show. There are things that I wish were there, but I think you could say that about every show out there. Like, you could say that about any showcase. Oh, I wish there were so many things that were there. There was a lot of good stuff there. Things that I'm very excited about, things that are going to happen this year, things that I'm not going to have to pay anything extra for because of Game Pass. So
That's a good point.
Overall, I'm pretty happy. Could it have been
like
better?
it.
Sure, but you can say that about everything. It's good.
Well, now I'm going all out of order. Bowser, what is your high level thoughts before we getting into the specifics? I like that, Mitch. That's a good perspective, that man.
I'm pretty excited about this. And outside of the games, I'm excited about not necessarily the new hardware that was talked about, but the ecosystem that comes with said hardware and the Xbox Play Anywhere part of it. And that's what the basis for the whole showcase was.
Yeah.
All of these games you can play on your PC, on your console, on the cloud, anywhere. Just go play your game. Do what you want. You're in charge.
Speaking of the cloud, there's our cloud gamer right over there, Fee, just living up on cloud 9. How you doing with this?
I sure am. I mean, I'm really excited things are coming into cloud. Was my reaction to the showcase as positive as everyone else's? No.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. I know that I came off a little heated earlier, mostly just because there's things I'm excited for. I'm excited that we're seeing more, and we're seeing more of a focus with cloud, which is getting me really excited. But I don't know. I would probably have to give it like a 6. That's a low for me when it comes to ratings for showcases. I do agree that we have been getting a lot of awesome games over the past few days. But yeah, I don't know. I'm still under the same impression. Am I excited for a lot of the games that are coming out? Absolutely. But it wasn't my favorite showcase, Sean. Wasn't my favorite showcase. That's it.
I think, and this is why I did the order in this way, because I think I'm kind of with you on that feed. Now, there's a lot of, as I'm kind of like, what has it been? 45 minutes since it ended, really, and they did the Outer Worlds 2 deep dive that we kind of couldn't pay attention to because we were too busy discussing this, and then we're like, we should probably just talk on the podcast. We should probably save all this for the podcast. A lot of different threads really to be pulled out of this. Like, one of the threads, which I think is where Bowser and Mitch are, is like games. Like, there's lots of games, lots of variety of games, and that is a positive thing. So if like that's what matters to you, then like what's the deal? Why aren't you happy about this? There's a Play Anywhere thread that I think was a big deal here. That was like one of the major things they wanted you to take away from this. That's the big change from before, like yesterday compared to today. Now we're thinking of Xbox really in terms of clarity on you buy a game or you have access to a game in one place, you have it in 3 different places. And they've now got some hardware coming to you that place as well. One of the ways I'm looking at this is, and then I'll get to my like sort of overall thoughts, is on a bullet point list, there's not much to argue here. There's really good games coming. There's really exciting things happening. I think, Mitch, you nailed it when I think you were alluding to Game Pass. Like, if this was like a Game Pass focused thing, it's really interesting for me. If I look at it through that lens, I'm probably even more excited. If there's like a graphic that goes, here's what you saw in the showcase, and this is what's coming to Game Pass, suddenly I'm really excited to be on Game Pass and to have Game Pass. And so, I don't know. And also something for the podcast listeners to know that we talked about live on stream, I alluded to earlier, I've watched a lot of these showcases, so I might be showcased out a little bit. Also, did I want a Fallout remake? Yeah, and we didn't get it this year, so that also maybe has a little something to do with it. So
It'll be a blog post. You'll be fine.
it'll be a blog post.
Yeah,
Oh my
they'll
God,
probably shadow drop it a week before the
That's
show
what
comes out.
Oblivion was. Oblivion was like, hey guys,
That's true.
check this out.
Yeah. Like,
That's
I can see
very
them doing
true.
it exactly the same way. Like, a week before season 2 of the show, you just throw out a tweet that says Fallout 3 Remastered is out now. Go play it.
That's good copium. Yes, I like that. I'll take that all day. Okay, well, why don't we now we got everybody's kind of high level thoughts, and we invite the chat as well. You guys can join in, and we'll include the chat live here on YouTube and on Twitch, as well as we put a call out in the Discord as well. Ryan, are you okay if we start with you? Like, if and you can do it in order. You can do 3 random games, whatever you like to do, my friend.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, I will tell you, again, as I was looking at the sheet and kind of, circling the games I'm excited about, it was really hard for me to actually pick just 3. Like,
Okay.
really hard for me to pick just 3 because there's a lot of games that I'm really excited about. Like, I have to leave Final Fantasy off the list, mainly because I've played those on other platforms. I got to leave,
Yep.
a couple other games off the list. But also, I feel like there's a couple games as well that I think some of y'all are going to talk about as well. So we'll get a chance to talk about them a little bit. So,
Sure.
First one I'm going to mention, kind of at the bottom of my top 3. And this one, I mentioned this on stream as an announcement I probably would have been more excited about if it hadn't leaked beforehand. And this one, of course, being Persona 4 Revival. Of course, the remake of Persona 4. They only gave us like the briefest of brief teases for that. They didn't give us a date. They didn't really give us anything other than, hey, this game exists. Please be excited. But coming into this showcase, we kind of already knew that anyways. But the reason why it makes my list of top 3 here is the fact that we did see at least a little bit of the game. We saw, you kind of the main character run around the small town that Persona 4 takes place in, as well as some of the areas from Persona 4 as well, and of course including the famous shot of the TVs kind of in the parallel world. I'm so excited for Persona 4 Revival. Persona 3 Reload was such a great remake of that game that I can't wait to see what they do with this game, and I think they're going to knock it out of the park because Atlas always does. And also even more exciting out of this as well as they confirmed after the showcase was over via a Twitter post that developers now shifted to Persona 6, and we will be hearing about it before kind of the year is over. So I am so excited for where Persona's at right now. And again, Persona 4, it looks awesome, but again, I kind of wanted to see more of it if they were going to show it. And again, it got deflated a little bit since the voice actors kind of thought the game was already announced 2 weeks ago. So that's where my head at. Yes, Mitch from the press pool.
Do you think they had such a short trailer because they weren't ready to announce it before the leak? Do you really think that was just kind of like oh shit, it got leaked, we need to get something out?
I'm
And,
actually
like,
pretty
here you
sure
go.
that this trailer was the trailer they were going to show us whether there was a leak or not.
I
think
think
it was
this is the source of the leak.
I
Yeah.
was going to say the same thing. Yeah.
Got it.
Especially because too, if you know something about, especially with like video production like this, like they're not going to turn around like they
The
didn't
midnight
just turn
hour and
this
just shorten
trailer-
it up. Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't just turn this trailer around in like a week and a half when this happened.
That's true.
Especially because all this stuff would have had to have been locked in a few weeks ago, and sent to the Xbox people to then put together for this production. So yeah, this is not in response to that. This was just, I think, the trailer we would have always seen.
Be true.
for this.
Also, I do want to point out that is Game Pass. Play day one on Game Pass.
It is play day one on Game Pass, just like Persona 3. So I think that's an
Yeah.
amazing get for Game Pass. Like
The
people are
fact
gonna
that
be calling it.
Persona has just sort of like nestled itself into being such a like in the Game Pass, like it's
Yeah.
kind of a staple, Bowser.
Yeah, it's definitely been ever present here this last year or so. Here's Persona. It's in Game Pass. Go play.
They're also just really,
Yeah.
really close with Xbox now because they keep
Yeah.
announcing games at Xbox, Atlas,
Yep.
and Sega too. Like, in fact, I'm actually kind of surprised we didn't see more Sega stuff at this showcase. This was, I guess, the one thing they wanted to show. But I was expecting like a random new Yakuza game or one of the other like dormant Sega franchises that we know they're working on. I expected more from Sega, but again, this trailer again just sets up the world a little bit, and I'm excited to see more down the line whenever they do it. But I mean, this type of game too, where it's like they also almost don't need to show me more too as well because I already know it's going to be awesome.
Yeah. When I haven't played Persona 3 remake, or what do they call it? Reloaded? What was it
Reload,
called?
yeah.
It was another Reload. I was confused because I think that's the Gears one as well. This is like, this is where I think I need to really check myself because I have watched a lot of these showcases over the last couple of days. Persona 4 is one of my favorite games ever. Like, I've talked about this one being almost like a gateway game into this style of games. When I played this on the Vita, however many decades ago that was, this is a big one, man. I love the characters, of course. The soundtrack is incredible. Like, I really think this game is special, and I'm excited to see what the remake sort of like coat of paint does to it. I don't know what quality of life stuff that they typically do. I think you're a little bit more familiar with that, Ryan, as someone who's played Persona 3 originally and then in the reloaded state.
Yeah, it felt a lot closer to Persona 5 as far as ease of use, in the menu system and everything. In fact, Persona 3 Reload, Sean, has one of the prettiest menus I've ever seen in any game.
Oh, we love good menus. Nice.
And it's really well set up as well. It's easy to find everything you need. And they improved the battle system quite a lot with that game. And the visuals were top notch, of course. So
nice.
Yeah, I'm expecting more of the same. It looked like in the trailer it was kind of running at like a 30 frames, but the full Persona 3 Reload ran at 60 frames, so I'm expecting this is probably going to be the same boat as well when it eventually comes out, or there'll probably be like a quality mode and performance mode.
You have such a quick eye. We saw like 2.5 seconds of gameplay, and you're right, that probably does look a little bit closer.
I can tell from the running, like the running.
Yeah, the running, 100%. Yeah. Nice. Anybody else got anything on Persona? They want to jump in while Ryan's mentioning this? No? All right. Sounds good. Fee, let's go to you next. What was your one of the 3 games that jumped out to you from this week's or this year's showcase?
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the ones that stood out to me was quite frankly at Fate's End, which is by the same people who made Spiritfarer. I thought that game looked really interesting. I thought it was a really cool way of kind of presenting a story, or at least like building up to finding out like quests. From what we saw in the trailer, it was essentially you get different tarot cards, and those tarot cards give you different pieces of clues and information that then lead to like your next goal, which in the trailer, it showed that she has to actually confront her sister. So she goes through this palace and then she sees a photo of her sister, and then it tells her to go and confront her. I personally haven't played Spiritfarer yet, mostly because I am scared to play Spiritfarer because it is a very heavily emotionally charged game.
So many feelings.
So I definitely need to be in the correct mindset, but this looked really cool and very interesting to me. It was like, it's cutesy, but at the same time, there's like some elements of like, obviously like side-scrolling like violence. There's a lot of like trying to figure out what's going on in the world itself. Usually I don't play too many types of these games, but I just love kind of like the art style, and then the idea of like having these cards and then seeing like the battle aspect, which is like you pull like specific cards and those cards give you an ability. So I'm very interested to see how this plays out. And yeah, just the idea of like welding a sword, because you got the sword from like this particular like quest line, and now you're fighting your, like in this case, the sister. But then seeing like the different tarot cards, you have to have them prompt and prepped, and then you can actually summon them. I thought it was really cool.
I'm with you. Yep.
So,
Totally with you on this one. I think it looks fascinating. I think the art style is excellent. Like this, I don't know if it's truly hand-drawn, but it certainly looks kind of hand-drawn. It looks just handcrafted. Really special. I love the stuff coming out of this studio. I think Bowz is nodding along here. I don't know if you wanted to jump in on this one as well, at Fate's End.
Yeah, this is probably an honorable mention for me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't
for sure.
finish Spiritfarer. It is very emotionally charged, but I could see myself making it farther through this one.
Yeah. Also, I love the logo. The logo is like chef's kiss. It's just like, it's very like straightforward, but it's just beautifully done. I'm so excited.
Very nice. Yeah, it's coming to Xbox Series X and S, Xbox One, Xbox PC, Xbox Cloud, Xbox Play Anywhere, and you can play it on day one on Game Pass. Like that's the stamp, and they had it there. It's not like Game Pass was hiding from us, but that's kind of the thing. I'm like, okay, yeah. Game Pass. We've got Game Pass for a little while here, and turns out we're going to be playing games for quite some time. I also like those calendar images that sometimes we'll get where it's like June you're playing this on Game Pass and July you're going to be playing this. Like I think we just need to see some of that, and I do need to be smashed over the face with those kinds of like that style of marketing. It's like, hey idiot, this is what you just saw, this is why you should be excited, this is what's happening on Game Pass, this is where you'll be playing all of these cool games. Man, I'm totally with you guys. I thought this game looked great, and by the end of all of this you're going to wonder why at the start I was so down on it, because I'm jumping in on every single one of these things going, yeah, I'm excited about that as well. And this is validating to Mitch, of course.
Absolutely. I'm just looking at, I almost question, can I count the ROG Ally and that as one of my favorite games?
Jump in, man. Hell
can
yeah,
whatever you want,
definitely.
man. There are
yes.
So here's the thing. I mean, I'm not saying I don't have 3 games I'm excited about. I'm just actually more excited at what that piece of hardware is going to do for the overall ecosystem of Xbox. That's actually a bigger deal to me. Them announcing like their own handheld, which is funny because there was actually a rumor of them like straight up saying, we're not doing the handheld thing. We're fine. And then they literally doubled down and had a whole trailer and they're like, no, this is a real thing. My biggest thing for me was I was reading basically all of the information on essentially the software side of things and how Microsoft's changing up their software game to where it is now going to be like almost like your Steam OS, like your OS specifically designed for handhelds. And I think that is one thing that's holding Windows handhelds back quite a bit, is that like unified OS that's not specific per platform. You know, Legion has their own, ROG has their own, but like them like doubling down on making sure software is going to be premium on all of these handhelds. And now again, they haven't announced this essentially like that this will be on all handhelds. However, it would be weird for me not to think they would, because they want to make sure they compete in Steam and having, you know, like that Microsoft storefront being front and center on every single handheld that's not Steam OS, right? This piece of hardware is forcing them, in my opinion, to make a better piece of software that is going to overall change how they're going to make compatibility with not just PC games, but this could lead down the road, like the rumored like emulation of making sure all the old stuff works, making it just as easy as possible to not just get Game Pass, but 2, all the games you already own on Steam and on Epic Games and all these other platforms. Having them all here is just a big deal. It's such a huge deal for Microsoft, because I mean, even if you update the Xbox app, not just for handhelds, update the normal Xbox app. Make that the one place everybody goes when it comes to playing games on their Xbox. Because now they have a dedicated term, Xbox PC. Just like now they have Xbox Cloud. Like that is now a branded term that they're trying to get in people's brains now, to where it's not just go buy your stuff on Steam. It's like buy it here. Also, if you happen to buy it here, you can buy it on, you get an Xbox version included. Also, you can play it on cloud without any device except for your phone or your TV. Like them putting this as like the only piece of hardware. And granted, they could show more stuff, Elite Series 3, blah, 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 all that stuff. This is such a big deal. Yeah. And it shows that they are so dedicated to making sure that everything that you want as far as gaming goes, you're going to think about Xbox. Try. And again, I know it's hard. Steam's market share is huge. Epic's trying to do it with like free games and things like that. But them focusing on every game that you saw will natively play on this device. And I mean, spec-wise, it is similar to other devices that are out there. So it's not like, oh, this is the only thing that'll natively play these games, right? My Legion could, your ROG Ally could, like, but them doubling down on that is such a big deal. And I'm so excited to see them, this being step one, and them building on this with back and pat, with emulation, with integrating stores, with integrating shops even. That's the one thing I think is going to be like the one that may or may not happen, is the integrating shops part, because you don't want to compete with Steam, and then this sale is on Steam and this sale is not on Xbox. But I think like when you even went on there, the Xbox app today, you opened it up and saw they had a front and center. Here are all these games that you can buy right now and you can play anywhere. And you don't need a console. You can do all of this with or without a console. That's great, man. So this was actually one of the bigger pieces of news that I liked.
But if you want the console experience, you can buy one and then your games will be there.
Exactly.
Well, and I'm curious how like that console experience is going to translate. I think that's what you're getting at, Mitch, like into this dedicated app for what is actually a PC, but it's a handheld kind of thing. Like there's a big gap to be sort of bridged across for me. I didn't love having my ROG Ally. I have to admit, I didn't think it was comfortable. I thought it was cumbersome to set up because it is Windows, but I do a lot of Windows setup with a mouse and keyboard that I didn't really want to always have set up with my handheld. I thought it was interesting. One of the apps or things that you could do on the handheld in the trailer, it shows Discord there, which I guess is more of like a voice chat kind of thing, more than a chat type of deal. Now, with all that sort of maybe more on the negative side out of the way, two big things that I want to point out here. One is Silksong, which I'm sure everybody's very excited to have seen. I need to address one thing that I just alluded to a second ago, the comfort factor. The ROG Ally to me is a brick. I think the Steam Deck is right there with it. I think it's too big, it's too heavy, not comfortable. And I didn't realize this when we watched it live, and it's a good thing we're just looking at this right here. This sucker, this Xbox Ally, this ROG Xbox Ally has handles. It's got it looks like a controller, and I think that could be one of the big things that might get me a little bit more interested. I don't know if that resonates with anybody else here, but like I just felt like the ROG Ally, it wasn't comfortable. I always felt like the Switch was much more comfortable to hold with actual kind of like a PlayStation Portable.
That's
Yes,
exactly what I was
so-
going to say. Like,
Yeah, this is this combo of the PlayStation Portal and your Windows PC handhelds. Somewhere in between. Because I know you're thinking that, like, the Portal is going to be lighter than this because it's not packing the hardware.
Right.
This thing's still going to be a chunky boy,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
but
But give me something to
hopefully
hold on to.
slightly more comfortable.
Yeah, like
You
I think
literally
the
just
handles
called
really
that
made
out.
the difference on the Portal as well. Like it made it feel good to hold in your hands. So I think this is
Yeah.
going to kind of have the same kind of feel to it. Although you saw Phil Spencer, wielding one around in his hands, and it looked a little heavy when he was holding it.
Yeah, it looked like you could kill a man with it, Ryan.
Probably.
Yeah.
I'm
You literally just
Accidentally,
made
of
me.
course.
You made me pick up my Legion Go to see like how the feel and hold of it is, and it's not awful, but you're right. Like those handles on that thing are going to be probably a lot more comfy to hold. And
Yeah, just
Just
a little more
support it
angle
overall.
on it. Yeah, because you don't want it to be. It's so angular. It's so squared off and everything. Like just like that.
I
That
can
kind
see
of.
why they did it. Like, if you try to put this in a case and put it in your backpack, it's going to be awkward and it's going to
Totally.
be thick.
Yeah.
But
Shout out to the good sir who, among other things, I want to address this, just popped into the Discord to say the highlight of the show for me was Silksong confirmed for launch for this year with the ROG Ally Xbox X, which looks incredible and has me saying Steam Deck who? But no
Yep.
other mention or look at the game. Overall, the showcase was pretty whelming to me. A handful of games I'm excited for, including Planet of Lana 2 and At Fate's End, but was really missing that wow factor for me. Would have loved to see more of Fable. Ending with COD was so boring. But shout out to the good sir. Thanks so much for jumping in with that. Man, anything else on the handheld here, Mitch? I'm glad you brought it up because this is one of their big deals. This was at a prime spot in the showcase. This was one of the things they wanted us to know. They even like in the show in the trailer, the guy's kind of holding like this translucent shape, which looked like a Series X to me. It was just like a rectangular prism kind of deal, and they changed it into a handheld. Nice.
yeah, I didn't expect the hand. I knew the handheld was rumored, but then there was literally like a reputable person online, again, rumors and all this crap. That was basically
Yeah.
just like they're going
Controller.
to wait on this till next year. And
Oh.
I was just like, that was like the big thing. They were saying like they're not really focused on this, and that this might be like a next year type of deal or something. And then they literally came out and was like, no, for real. Like, look here, it's coming out this holiday. Like that's a big difference.
Yep.
Yeah.
Big
I'm
difference.
going to just chime in on Yarden's point in the chat, who said he wants a price. Ally X is currently $900. So that's the thing I'm really curious about with this device is how much is this thing going to cost? Is it going to get like the Xbox boost in price and be a little bit more expensive? Are they going to try and make it cheaper to try and get people in the door?
I was gonna
curious
say,
to
I
see
think
how
that
much
could be
it's
the
gonna cost.
that route of them like partnering with Xbox, like, hey, make it a little cheaper so we can get people in the ecosystem. I mean,
Yeah, I think that'd
They
be a good
could go that
strategy,
route.
like to get
Yeah.
people into it,
Yep.
into this market, is to just release one that's a little bit cheaper than normal, so people think they're getting a little bit of a deal, and then that's how you hook them.
yeah, they didn't say any official on the Xbox Wire post. They didn't say anything specifically about price itself. Dang, they have like a whole video about everything, huh? That's kind of cool. But yeah, I mean, like you said, that also too, I noticed, you have your ROG Ally or Xbox Ally, and then you have your Xbox Ally X. So they're going the same route of like, here's a cheaper version, here's an entry level version, and here's your premium version. So, I mean, they did that too.
Silk Song is featured throughout. It's on every one of these screenshots. It was there throughout the whole video. Like, one of the most anticipated games being attached to this, I think, is also a pretty big deal. What else did they said something in here as well, obviously giving you access to the Play Anywhere. I also want to say there was, they talked about Roadblocks. This is just coming off of the Xbox Wire article. Excited to partner with Roblox for the launch of Xbox Ally. For the first time ever, Roblox will be playable natively and optimized for gaming handhelds. I didn't know that was the thing. That's kind of crazy. Again, big games.
One of the base games in the world.
It really is, and we obviously never talk about it here. This is what I was looking
Survivors, baby.
Yep. It was on all the screenshots too, Balda. I noticed that too.
It says here, players who purchase an Xbox Ally or Xbox Ally X are new to Game Pass will also be able to get started at no additional cost, accessing hundreds of games like Balatro, Gears Tactics, Vampire Survivors, and more. An interesting selection of games there to highlight Game Pass. Straight from your device. I want more details on that. I've been screaming about this forever. When people just give them Game Pass, get them started. Why hasn't this been a thing the whole time with every controller, with every game, with every console, everything, man, with every Hotmail address that gets signed up for? Goodness gracious. Finally, Mitch.
That is, I did not see that part. And again, that's like interesting because it's like, are you giving them for a year?
Yeah,
like,
totally.
No, it's not going to be that.
It's going to be for a month.
3 month.
2 weeks to a month.
I guess.
What if it was 48 hours?
Even if
those are my favorite. Is
That's
when
a
they would
slap
give out,
in the face. It's
No,
like,
but
yeah.
Mitch, in the 360 era, they used to give out the 48-hour codes.
Oh,
for
I remember
Xbox Live all
those.
the time. Yeah.
They gave out like 1 month codes back in the day, bro. And then they got skimpy fast. They were just like, 48 hours. You got it. A weekend. Enjoy.
Also, Adam David in the chat says Hotmail with a question mark. And I'm like, Adam David, I still have a Hotmail account.
That's mine. Sorry. We're
yeah,
old.
or Outlook.com, whatever. Take your pick, man. I don't care. Whichever. Or at
I still
MSN
got
Live.
Yahoo.
Or simpatico.ca.
Goodness gracious. Yeah, this is we're old. That's how you know this. We'll close it out here by talking about the pricing they say is still coming. I think that really is no surprise given this thing isn't coming out to holiday. There's no real incentive or imperative
and
at
there's
all.
still way too many question marks in the United States as to
100%.
what could have packed this. So
Definitely.
there's no good reason to put a price out right now and then change it.
Yep.
No.
I would also say that probably means it's going to be high. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's probably just brace yourself. So, but who knows? That's just my own speculation. Nice. Good call, Mitch. Any other comments, questions, concerns, anything you guys want on the ROG Ally? All right. Bowza, let's give us your number one or first thing you want to highlight from this year's showcase.
First thing, and I'd say probably the only reason this is like number 3 on my list is because it did get spoiled for me. Not pleased about that, but here we are. This is the internet, and this is the world we live in. That is Resonance: A Plague Tale Legacy. I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but I am a big Plague Tale fan. I loved Innocence. I loved Requiem. Watching this trailer during the showcase, I didn't realize that we do actually know that main character. She does play a part in Requiem. So, this game is actually set 15 years before A Plague Tale Requiem. So this is telling you Sophia's story prior to meeting up with the other main characters we know about. So I'm even more interested than I was just watching the showcase. Without even knowing this is a Plague Tale game, I was interested, right? Like,
there it is.
The vibe of the game had me. Knowing that it's a Plague Tale, okay, I'm extra in. And now knowing that it is a character we are familiar with, and this is their kind of like story before that, I'm all in. Day 6 or whatever it is on Game Pass, I'm there for it. So please give me this game.
I mean, you said something that really resonated with me.
I see that.
I didn't know what this was, and I was leaning in to the screen, like, "Oh, what is this?" Now, I'm the opposite of you. I'm not a huge fan of the Plague Tale games. This is well known at this point. That's just me. That's fine. But I'd love to see, like, did we see gameplay on this trailer? I think it was mostly a cinematic thing. Like, if we're not running away from rats the whole time, like I'm interested. I think is my overly and people are gonna scream at me. Fans of the actual game are gonna be like, "It's more than that. It's different." But
It
you know,
is
I'm just being.
But
being a
also,
dink.
like Hugo was the rat guy, so
There
he's
you go.
not going to be in this. So maybe there's no rats.
Yeah,
It's
it
not
seems
just
more action
rats.
focused this time around.
Yeah,
like
it
which
does.
gets me excited.
Yep,
Nice.
I'm here for it. I'm excited.
Good
Cannot
call out.
wait.
Resonance, A Plague Tale Legacy. I kind of like that, actually. It's kind of like how we do our podcast names. The Xbox Drive : an Xbox podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just got to make sure people know.
It's also doing the switcheroo like Hellblade did.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
not
yeah.
A Plague Tale 3. It's Resonance.
Except this is a spiritual
A Plague
successor, which
Tale.
was, which game was that? That somebody said it was a sequel and somebody said it's a spiritual successor to the first game. Do you remember which one it was, Ryan?
Yeah,
There were
that
too
was
many
something
games.
Friday.
Yeah.
So yeah, there are too
Something
many
Friday
games,
was a
for
spiritual
sure.
successor, except it was whatever.
It
2.
was literally
Like,
the sequel. It was
Yeah.
the thing too, a spiritual successor to
That's
the
not
original
what that
game.
means. Like, come on now. Oh man.
Yeah.
Okay,
there were
well,
too many games.
You guys got me kind of pumped about this Xbox game showcase. We got some
All
pretty
right,
good
we're
stuff
doing it
coming
here.
our way. As for me, the first one I will bring up, and mine are in no particular order because I didn't write anything down, so I'm just kind of scrolling through and finding this here. Super Meat Boy 3D. Which, I mean, I thought this was going to be a Viva Pinata at first. We got some butterflies flying around. We got some, and then we had like a Mario pipe showing up. So it was a couple of different misdirects here. And I wasn't sure if we were going to get more of like a Mario 64 style of Meat Boy once it seemed clear we were in 3D. But I would say this Bowser, it looks more like a 2.5D maybe at most, like a 3D Mario 3D World style, but still the hallmark of the Meat Boy games are instant regen, like you're gonna die a lot and then you snap and you're right back at the beginning. Lot of saws, a lot of ways to get sliced and diced and leaving bloody meat chunks kind of everywhere. And it's like, what else? What do you not want? There was also a couple times during this trailer and a few others that we looked at where I think Bowser, you and I were both kind of like, games look great all of a sudden. Like there's like this visual upgrade that's happening within the last little bit that I was really excited about. This one, of course, coming to Game Pass on day one as well, which, I mean, we could do a whole show just on the games. The games are coming to Game Pass, and I've got an article ready, maybe as a recap near the end. But shout out to Meat Boy. I love the Meat Boy games. I think that's really great. Nice little. It's not a shooter, so I was glad to see this game show up day one on Game Pass. And I'm just trying to recall if there was a date, and I don't think there was. 2026, early 2026.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. Anybody else for Meat Boy out there?
I mean, I've never played Meat Boy, but this one being 3D and on Game Pass, I'll give it a shot.
Nice.
I mean, I might rage quit, but
I
think that's
it
guaranteed.
happens.
This game looks great, but it also looks very hard. So
Yeah.
I'm very interested to see how this one goes, especially because again, it looks like Mario 3D World, but just difficult and with more buzzsaws essentially. So and I already kind of get a lot more frustrated with 3D platforms than versus 2D platformers. So while I might not have because I don't think I really raged at all while playing Super Meat Boy the original, I definitely could see myself like rage quitting this one simply because it's a 3D platformer.
Not necessarily 3D with this locked perspective.
Yeah.
Like if I can't control the camera and spin it around, I'm far more. That's why 3D World is frustrating to me. Like I'm not in control. Whereas like a Mario Odyssey, where I can just look wherever I want, I'm much better off. So we'll see.
Nice. Cool. All right, we'll go around the horn once again. Game number 2 or announcement number 2. Ryan Turford, what do you got for us?
Yes.
Is it Gone Fission? Let me guess. Is it
Yes.
Fallout 76 or Elder Scrolls Online? Was it those ones?
Could be one of those. I needed a new pet for my Elder Scrolls Online character.
Yes.
First of all, a couple honorable mentions, of course, that as we went around here, of course, that. See, look at this. I'm on the spot, and suddenly my brain stops working. Fate's End. We talked about it earlier. I was really excited about that as well. That was kind of one of my honorable mentions. But now to kick things off. This is a game that surprised me because I did not expect to see this here. I didn't expect to see a game this soon from this developer. But this one, Chronos, The New Dawn, from Bloober Team, of course, makers of The Medium, but also, more importantly, Silent Hill 2 remake, which came out last year, which was awesome. If people haven't played it yet, people should play it. But I love the fact that they were just like, what if we just made Dead Space? You know, EA's not making Dead Space, so why don't we just make Dead Space? Like, no one else is doing this, so we should just do this ourselves, because this game looks like it looks very similar to Dead Space. You're not, Isaac Clarke. You're not, sawing off the limbs of the enemies, but you got a bunch of like necromorph horror-y looking enemies that you're fighting on this alien world, and it's just really cool. And not only that, but as I kind of alluded to as well. Ever since the Silent Hill remake came out, ever since I rolled credits on it, I knew that like anytime Bloober Team announces a new game, I have to be paying attention to it, because they did an amazing job with that game. And this trailer, from what they showed from kind of the gameplay, it looks creepy. The gunplay looks pretty fun. Like, the monsters look cool. Like, as a horror fan who also loves sci-fi stuff, like, I'm pretty excited about this game. Especially because, we haven't really had a new Dead Space game since Dead Space Remake. Like, no one else has jumped on this train, not even EA, after Dead Space Remake was good. So I'm jonesing for a new, like, space horror game, and I think Chronos: The New Dawn might just scratch that itch. I think it looks pretty cool, and it's coming out this holiday as well. So I'm excited to play this one.
Very
Nice, man. I'm totally with you. Bowser, go ahead.
Yeah, this isn't really my thing. I think so. I played the Bloober Team. They did the medium.
Yep.
Where you were like switching between the two worlds. That was more my speed.
Mm-hmm.
This might be a little much for me, but it looks really good.
Yeah, it looks like honestly, it looks like Resident Evil in space. And again, that's enough to get me excited.
This one not coming to Game Pass, which I was kind of hoping for to see. But maybe that announcement is still coming. I don't know. I said kind of hold out hope, and I don't know what it is about Bloober games that seem like they should come to Game Pass, but maybe that's unfair, Bowser.
Yeah, I mean, it also might be 6 months later it's on Game Pass too.
That's what happened
It's
with
not day one.
the medium was like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It came to Game Pass later? Really?
Yeah.
Because it was a launch title back on the Series X launch.
It was an exclusive on Xbox, Sean.
Man, who could forget?
But
Love it.
Yeah, no, it took like 6 months for it to come, but yeah.
That's about when I would have played it. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
All right. Good call, man. I think that looks great. It's coming fall 2025 is what we know. And I can't wait to learn more about that. All right. Fee, you got another game for us, or are you all out?
No, I
Sorry.
Nope.
You done? You done? You got one. You good?
I only have one. Bye, guys. Bye.
And bye. See you next week.
Yeah, no, okay, so it's not usually a typical Fee game, but it's like really resonated with me because they're like, it's a dark fantasy. And I'm like, that is like one of my favorite types of like book genres. So I'm going to have to say The Blood of Dawnwalker is my next one. I thought this looked really freaking cool. I was just like, I'm here for it. I want just like the dark, like creepy, but at the same time, like just overall the vibes itself was really interesting. Being able to see like, okay, he's a vampire, but he's able to walk during the day, but there's other vampires in the game itself. It's very reminiscent. I would like to say, like, I know, and before people come at me, I understand Castlevania is a video game. I get it. But this is very reminiscent of like, if they took the television show of Castlevania and they made it into like more like of this type of game. It's very creepy. It's very much like things are like going awry. Just like stuff like this was very reminiscent of the original series of Castlevania on Netflix. And so I'm very excited for this game. I want to like try it out. I think this is one of the games that's coming to, I know it's coming to cloud. I don't know if it's a Game Pass game right out the gate. No. Well,
No.
Either way, I am very curious as to what's going on. It's just like with the last game. It's like, I want to know more about it. And so seeing this, I'm very interested to see where it goes. I know we got to see quite a bit of like more medieval types of video games over Summer Games Fest, which I'm really excited for. I'm a huge fantasy kind of like medieval fan. So I'm very curious how this one plays out, especially with the vampire aspect to it.
They baptize a baby in blood.
They
Yeah.
sure do.
They sure did.
Mm-hmm.
They sure did. Yeah, this is
Yeah.
one of my honorable mentions for sure. I like that
Nice.
this guy was like, they tried to make me a vampire, but not quite.
I'll
So I
show
can still
them.
come out at daylight. Booyah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I also like this game as well, but Fee, if I may, can I humbly request that you can I interest you in Castlevania Lords of Shadow from the Xbox 360, which is also available on your Xbox Series X through backwards compatibility, because it also kind of does what you're talking about with the Castlevania style story as well.
I
Just throwing it out
will
there.
have to play it.
But this game looks
yeah.
really cool. Again, I love RPGs, and this is like an action RPG where you play as a vampire. So I think it looks pretty cool.
I also seem on brand because both of the actual games that I've chosen so far have swords in their actual logo.
Yep.
So I,
My God.
He likes the murders. We know.
Find what other games have swords. We can.
Yeah, I'd say if the logo has a sword in it, it's a top 3 for Fee. I'm just saying.
exactly.
All right.
Yeah.
We need an Xbox Drive logo with a sword in it now.
Yeah,
That's
we
what we
do.
got. Yeah. Nice little
Forget about
alternative.
Xbox Green. We're doing blood red.
Yeah. Xbox Drive 400 with swords.
Yeah.
Yes.
S-words.
Swords make everything better.
Don't they? Yeah.
They do.
It's true.
Yeah. Long swords, broadswords, you know,
Claymore?
daggers even, if you like. Any stabbing device, Mitch.
Yeah.
Yeah,
swords.
exactly.
Yeah.
When it comes.
Mitch, tell us what else excited you about this here games show and or hardware showcase?
I think the next one I'm going to go with is the one that I'm most excited to play out of everything that was happening here, which was Clockwork Revolution. Because that game looks like the BioShock Infinite sequel I wanted and never got, and I can't wait. It looks so good. It's got the humor. It's got visually. It's awesome. It looks fantastic. My thing that I'm looking forward to though is just the actual gameplay of it. Like example, it has the RPG elements of it where you're doing the huge decision making and how that's going to change things, but just gameplay alone, let alone like the dialogue options and how that's going to affect the story. Just the pure gameplay of it looks really good. It looks like a really good shooter. It looks like it has a lot of mechanics, like the upgrading of the guns that they show in the trailer, where you can fully customize every part of the gun to your liking. The time travel part, where you can like fix certain parts of the world or change parts of the story based off the time travel part. It just looks awesome, man. It looks like a super fun world. Also, the humor of the game just looks wild. Like, there's just so much going on here. That guy's beard is out of control, bro. Like, it's insane. and then like the pissed off doll. Like, yeah, exactly. Like, there's just a lot about this game that just looks awesome. And again, my favorite part, it's on Game Pass. It'll be something that's included. Like, the fact that this, and I'm not saying the Outer Worlds doesn't deserve it, but I'm also like, dude, I feel like this game is also one of those huge games that could get its own like private showcase and just show you all the wild shit that's happening in this game. I think this could be another game that could have been one of those showcase games to get its own. But yeah, no, this game looks awesome, man. I can't. Again, it just reminds me of BioShock Infinite. That was like the very first thing I remember when they first showcased it. I was like, this looks like BioShock Infinite, but now that they're showing more of this, it's a lot more than that. Like this character creator, I know
Look
you
at the
guys
character
lost
creator right
your
there.
mind over.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of good here.
Because somebody attacks this dude and he's describing the assailant, right? And that's
That's who
that's
you're
how
picking.
you're doing the
Oh,
character
that's
creator.
So awesome. I love
I've never
it.
seen anything like that, Fee.
Yeah, it reminds me a lot of specials, and honestly, like the creativity that we've seen this year when it comes to like character creation. I know Cabernet has kind of like the same essence, because with that game, it's starting off with the person's describing you and like at your funeral. And so they're kind of introducing that type of aspect. And then this, of course, with the fighting, it's so smart. I
Nice.
love it so much. And I'm so excited to jump in and be able to like actually go through the character creator, because I want to just make my person just pure chaos is the biggest thing. And like, I was just thinking, I'm like, yeah, the person came up and just like smashed me over the head with something. I'm just
Yep.
like, yeah, that's exactly what my character would do. So,
You know what we need?
yeah.
We need shareable character creators. Because I
Yes.
want
That'd be cool.
Fee to make me a character.
Oh,
I
that's
don't
a
need
good
this
call.
pressure on myself. I want Fee to do like I'll pay Fee money. Like here, I'll buy you the game. You make
Hold
me
the
a
phone.
character and then you play it.
Hold the phone, Bowser. Is there not that accessibility feature on Xbox that allows another person to play your game for you?
Yeah, like a
didn't we
share,
make-
like a co-pilot.
Yeah, like the co-pilot.
Yeah, does that
feature.
work
Like,
on
that-
the
before
internet?
The AI
Fee just made
co-pilot.
$20. She's
because
stoked.
because you can
Fee,
just
you're
have
in.
Fee do that. Yeah.
I'm buying you games just so
Yeah,
you can do
that's
the
true.
character creator.
That's a good point. For me, I echo pretty much every single sentiment that you guys have talked about here. I want to toss it to Ryan, but before I do, to me, I've had a huge appreciation for the developer In Exile for a long time. Like, they are masters at their craft. They design insanely intelligent games. To me, this is their opportunity to break out a little bit more into the mainstream. Like, they've done Wasteland for however many years, and that, it's a hardcore, almost CRPG kind of game. This still looks like it's got some RPG elements, Ryan, but maybe in a more approachable standpoint for a lot of other like more of today's Western RPG kind of gamer. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I felt like they were kind of going in that direction anyways with Wasteland 3, and this is just another step in the direction where now this feels like anyone can kind of jump into this and have a good time with
This
it.
is an accessible to Bowser game.
Yeah,
there you go.
Exactly. And one of the things that I was thinking about, even with the character creator, Sean, is that I remember when Wasteland 3 came out, you did a live stream for Wasteland 3 where you went through the character creator and you spent like an hour going through it because there were so many weird and wacky choices of like how you made your background and like I'm trying to remember some of the weird stuff you could make up about your character's background and stuff like that. It was like there was like the chicken chaser and a bunch of other weird stuff. So like I'm really interested to see like what kind of weird humor they're going to kind of bring into both the character creator and then also some of the game. And I'm also interested to see how much like this time travel and time manipulation stuff is going to affect things because they're showing like the same level 3 different ways depending on like how you've kind of changed history. So I'm curious to see how that's going to really, like, how much of a difference it's going to make on the gameplay.
Yeah, it looked like in this one gameplay segment, you went in and did something and ended up dead, and you just, like, hit the thing on the back of your hand and went backwards in time so that you could approach it differently. Just a little bit different, like, than just dying and restarting at a checkpoint. It feels better that, I'm just going to go back in time and change it. I didn't die.
You'd also throw people forward in time and turn them into skeletons as well, apparently. So...
It looked like a time grenade, if I just saw that right. That looked like a grenade he threw down that was like, oh, cool, we'll just throw you back in time or throw you forward in time, which is just crazy. Like,
they also launched a turret out of one of those things.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I don't know if it's too hyperbolic to say, I think this was my game of show. I think this is the strongest game that they had, and maybe if only we hadn't heard about it before, it would have been an excellent closer other than the Call of Duty closing things out, which I think there's mixed, if not mostly negative opinions on. The one more thing is the thing that we know was going to be coming anyways, that there was a Call of Duty, but maybe I'll save that for later. I think this was the best looking game. This is one of those, this could be a game of the year that we're looking at in a trailer format. Like, I think that highly of this. It looks complex. It looks well thought out. It looks beautiful. Like, all these different things that we look for. It looks original. Like, what else do you want? It's coming to Game Pass. It will also be available on Steam and all of the Xboxes, Series, PC, Cloud, Play Anywhere, whatever you want. I'm really stoked for this one. And again, maybe we'll just one detractor fee at the end. In due time is when we will learn the release date for this one. So, I mean, we don't want them to set a date and then miss it, of course. It's more about how excited I think the collective of us are for this one. We want it as soon as possible, but take your time. Miyamoto quote over and over again, Fee.
Yep, every single time. I don't know. I'm like excited. It's like I'm curious when they just are like, does that mean like 2026, like late 2026 at this point? Is it 2027? By that point, you're looking at having to do more, which is the kind of the downside of it, because by that point, who knows what the graphics are going to look like with other games, especially in Unreal Engine 5. So I'm just curious what their plan was there, because it did seem kind of limited to just that particular city as well, because of course we don't really know what the entire essence. I know you can go back in time and stuff like that, but is it just in that one city? Can you go to other places? By that point, is there that opportunity to do that? I'm just overall interested to see what they mean by coming in due time. Who knows? Maybe like in the next few months.
Month.
You know what? They could just shadow drop it.
Can you
That's
imagine?
the thing.
Who knows?
Which is
don't
insane.
know.
We did get a shadow drop today. We got Final Fantasy shadow dropping today.
Yeah, Final Fantasy 16. Go play it. Please.
And Tony Hawk
that game's
demo.
awesome.
Yeah.
I was not specific. I'm sorry, everyone.
Yeah. I'm also going to throw out a little interesting tidbit that I had to look up because I was curious about this. This was actually one of the only Microsoft first-party games in the show that's exclusive to Xbox platforms. It's not on PlayStation Day One. So I thought that was interesting.
I mean, that game probably has been in development for before they decided to start,
Yeah.
thinking about bringing it to other platforms. So
Yeah.
that does
I
make
wouldn't
sense.
be surprised if it's a little bit later it comes out. Yep.
I mean, that seems like too good of a game not to want to sell more copies of on other platforms like that. That was another thing, just a quick thing. It was like a lot of what was shown said PS5 and had official logos, and then some had Switch and some had Switch 2. One had Switch 2.
Nice.
But yeah, you're right. Like this was one that they were kind of just like,
Yeah.
this is
Obviously,
ours.
it'll come eventually. It's going to be timed exclusive. But I thought it was
Sure.
interesting. Like this was like one of the only ones that was, you know.
Yeah,
Nice.
like, and you mentioned that. I'm literally thinking like, damn, you're right. Like literally, almost all of them, even Gears is PS5. Like all of like the other ones were all PS5.
Yeah.
Grounded doesn't mention
That's only
any
because it's
other
in early
platforms,
access.
but
they
I think
don't-
you're right because early
yeah.
access.
After early access, it'll be probably on everything, including Switch 2. But
My last thought, I can't wait to make a character just as pretty as my one I did in Avowed because I know everybody
Oh.
loves
No.
my
Oh
Avowed
yeah, that was
character.
great.
Band.
Oh,
Cannot
no more
wait
bitch
to make
power.
my
I mean,
character.
it'll look
Oh,
just like you, Mitch. It'll look
it
just
will.
like you. Just
It's
like
gonna
your
look just like me. The one in Avowed did. So thank you, Ryan. Thank you for
Guys,
seeing my
whenever
vision.
this
I
game
appreciate
comes
you.
out, I'm taking a month off the podcast. It was nice talking to all of you. Or
She
Mitch
is going to
can-
offer her services. That's what she's gonna do.
I was just gonna say
Yes.
you're taking a month off to go make people's characters.
Yes.
right.
Yeah, exactly. Hit me up if you want a character created for you. I'm more than happy to avoid whatever Mitch made in Avowed. What?
He was a work of art. He looked like me. So I'm just saying.
In the
Mitch,
meantime, go play Wasteland 3 or Wasteland Remaster or whatever they do.
Yeah.
Like, go play NXL games. Get to know like the design and the master craftery from this developer is really great. Mitch, this was a great pick from you. We all got to weigh in on it. I think that was probably would have been on each of our lists. So thanks for bringing it up. Bowza, game number 2 that you'd like to spotlight from this here game showcase.
Yeah, and I will say that Clockwork Revolution would be an honorable mention for me. I'm trying to stick to things we didn't know about prior to
Nice.
today.
Okay. Nice.
So, having known about that one, though it looks way better than the last time we saw it, I'm
Agreed.
way more excited. So I will go with, let's see. My number 2 is going to be from a studio that both Sean and I had predictions about this year. At the beginning of the year, I predicted they would make Costume Quest 3, and Sean had an honorable mention that Double Fine would show up, and they did with the brand new IP, Keeper. I just want to be a lighthouse, y'all. Like,
what?
and somebody puts a freaking life ring on you like a damn necklace just to decorate you so that you look better wandering around as a dilapidated lighthouse, and I am here for it. Like, I don't even know what's happening in this game. I just want to be a lighthouse. That's it. That's the notes. That's all I got.
No one thought they'd say that sentence at this show. Like
that was
no
not
one
a
thought.
sentence that came out of my brain this morning.
I would have been.
I had to see this trailer first, right?
I would have loved to have been a fly on the wall at like the pitch meeting for this game. Be like, so you in this game, we're gonna pitch to you today. You play as a lighthouse and you walk
Beautiful
around.
life ring.
Yeah,
We literally mentioned like Double Fine's the only studio that would have entertained that insane of an idea and like been like, keep going. I didn't
tell
stop
me
you.
more.
Tell me more. How much?
Look
We have
how
a check.
pretty it is in this cave, though. There's
Yeah.
like all of these brightly colored things, but yet everything's like dingy and destroyed, and
Yeah.
the contrast is beautiful.
And then there's time travel there because he turned back into an egg. Yeah, I don't know what the hell just happened there. No, this game looks, and again, I feel like this is going to be one of those visually like, you want to showcase off how good your, game could look, and not just like just the art style of this is nuts. It's insane. But also it's like, yeah, Double Fine is basically the only studio I think that I would be like, yeah, go ahead, do that. That works.
yeah.
And
we got a
October,
date.
like, it's got a date. Seriously, Game Pass, play anywhere. Yeah,
This is how
in.
games should be announced. Here's a game you didn't know existed. It looks cool. It's coming out in 4 months. Like, I mean, and we hadn't heard, what was the last thing Double Fine did?
Psychonauts 2.
Yeah.
Psychonauts 2. Yep.
Yeah.
Which
like,
was
again,
also a great game, but this is
was.
just
Right.
like completely different.
but I just think if you let a studio cook and just let them work, and then they're ready to show their stuff and it's ready to come out right away. That's where I'm like, they felt confident enough to just be like, yeah, we have a release date. It's coming out this day. It's, and again, another thing is just who knows how long the game is, but it's a Game Pass game. Who cares? Go try it out. Go
To me,
check it out.
This is an illustration of what I want Game Pass to create.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be the $200 million budget AAA banger that's the same as the year before with slightly different, maybe a little bit better visuals. Like, it's this weird crap. No one was asking for a game where you play as the lighthouse, but now
One
I
guy
want
was.
it. I want to play
One
it
guy
right
was.
now.
That's true.
Like, here it is. This is it. I want that continuous funding that Game Pass gets every month going into Xbox and Microsoft. Like, that's where you can take money and give it to your studios and be like, go make something weird. We're here for it. Just make something weird.
And Double Fine's the perfect studio to make some weird shit.
They
So
are.
yeah, like they really are.
I'll jump in to say Double Fine. I mean, I echo again everything you guys are saying about this. Always getting the weird stuff here, always pushing the bounds of creativity and stuff. One thing that I tend to go to Double Fine games for is like the Tim Schafer dialogue and writing, and there's always like a comedic slant to it. One of the first sentences here on the Xbox Wire article dedicated to it is, Keeper is a story told without words. And it's something I had noticed when we were watching it live. It was a fairly silent experience. And I didn't realize it was going to be like that for the whole game. There are no words. This is like the beginning of WALL-E for the entirety of the game. And so it is going to be the visuals. It is going to be the experience of what you go through with this lighthouse as your protagonist, it seems. That's really going to do a lot of the heavy lifting. And that is entirely different from what I would typically expect from Tim Schafer's team. So very intrigued. I think it was Seth who was in the chat when we watched it live who said Double Fine gets a hall pass. Like, no matter what, they're just like, I'm in. I actually don't, all I really need to see is logo of the studio and logo of the game, and I'll probably be playing it. With Game Pass, there's really no excuse for it. But I think this is going to be one where I need to get my hands on it first before I can really like take that next step of excitement. But that's all without saying, we get it on Game Pass. We get it from Double Fine. I'm really curious to see what people's experience with this are. And Bowser, I think you nailed it. Like, we need games like this. And when we celebrate like the good old days of PlayStation 3, it was weird stuff like this that seems to be happening now on Xbox platforms.
And it doesn't have to be that AAA 100-hour rinse and repeat stuff. Like, it can be smaller little chunks of games. Just go do the weird thing, have fun with it, and then you're good. You got your 15 hours or whatever it is, and I'm here for that.
I think the one thing that I like about it, and here's the thing, and just me being honest, right? If I saw that trailer and it didn't say Double Fine, would I care about it as much?
Right.
I'd be like, that's cool. That looks interesting. And then no, it's like, no, Double Fine's doing it. Okay, cool. Like, that's all I need to hear. And like, I know that studio puts in the quality that they do with the games they have. And it's just like, absolutely. Again, you're right though. The no words part, that'll be interesting. I mean, there will probably it'll remind me kind of like Ori and like telling a story of just like no words, just what you're seeing, that emotion or whatever that's happening coming out. It's going to be awesome. I think.
Yeah, I still think like there's opportunity for like physical humor and like relationships to build and everything, Ryan, for sure. I think there's something more there.
Yeah. Like, they'll find a way of telling the story and inject that like Double Fine humor in there just with like silly things that happen to the lighthouse or the bird along the way.
Yeah, I mean, there's also kind of goes hand in hand with the animated movie that won Best Animated Movie of the Year, which was Flow, which is an entire movie about a cat, and you follow around the cat. There's no words in the movie whatsoever, and so being able to tell a story without words is like a whole, like, because you have to like really think like, okay, there's no words, so what do we need to do to like really emphasize everything else visually, like either maybe the music itself,
Music
which I
is
love.
a big one. Yeah, I
Music is a
cannot
huge
wait to hear
one.
the music.
Exactly. So I think it's like a really intriguing way of telling a story without any words. So even though, yes, it is kind of goofy because it's a lighthouse, I'm really curious to see kind of the dynamic, and also we get to see like, and for some reason it seems like a robotic or like a sentient item with like a bird seems to be, because we saw that with Bastion and like Overwatch, and we've seen it a few other times. So kind of like I'm really curious to see kind of that dynamic. Who knows?
Birds aren't real. It's fine.
Yeah, and the bourgeoisie, guys.
You know what? As the days go on, I'm buying into that conspiracy theory
See?
more and more. Like, why not?
Look, all right, I got a lighthouse tattooed on my shin. I'm in for the game.
Oh, there you go.
Need
Oh,
me
that's
say
good.
more.
That's good context. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, and I think Fee lives in a lighthouse. I
Yeah,
think that's
pretty
where
sure. That's the
in
entire
Atlantic Canada there are no
island.
homes.
That's a
Everybody
requirement.
lives in a
Lighthouses.
lighthouse.
She talks about how many lighthouses there were.
Yeah, that's actually my day job, guys. I'm a lighthouse keeper. The lore continues. I work in a lighthouse.
That's the next
so
Firewatch
jealous.
game.
Don't even joke. That'd be so cool.
That would be nice. Yeah,
Yeah.
that'd be good.
Oh man.
What we didn't realize, the person pitching Double Fine a lighthouse game was actually Fee. She was the one who did
Thank
it.
you.
Mm,
I appreciate
thanks,
it greatly.
Yeah.
Big,
Thanks, Fee.
big
You're
preach.
welcome.
Thank you.
Yep.
Welcome.
Okay, I'm not sure how much time we'll spend on my next game. The second game I want to highlight is a follow. It's a spiritual successor, and by that I mean a direct sequel to a game that was on Game Pass and a really good game in Planet of Lana. This is Planet of Lana 2, the Leaf Children. What is it? Children of the Leaf? And I, what are you giggling about over there, Mitch?
It was so funny. Go on.
I love the art style to this game. This is for the most part, it's almost casual, even in terms of might be like a little bit like Inside, maybe a little bit like Limbo, but much brighter. Really intriguing kind of sci-fi story here as well. I really enjoyed my time with the first one. Love that it's coming to Game Pass. Again, not a AAA $400 billion experience. Probably underplayed, underappreciated in the first one. And this is your reminder. Go play Planet of Lana when you have a quick moment. But this game's coming out in 2026. It's coming to Game Pass on all of the different things. And I thought this was really special and coming hopefully pretty quickly within our hands here. I don't know if anybody else played the first one or really liked it. Bowsy, you played that first one.
Yeah, I
right?
had a good time with the first one. That was
Yeah.
another great game to play. That was on Game Pass day one, wasn't it?
I think it was. I don't know. I didn't play it day one, but yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure it was day. Like this
Yeah.
one is as well.
Look,
Yeah, this one was
as
good.
long as they don't hurt my little buddy, we're fine.
Sometimes you
Anything
never really know.
to my companion, then I'll just rage quit the game. It's fine.
So start the game with that, Bowser.
So did you
How
turn
about
off
that?
John Wick like 20 minutes into the movie?
I didn't watch it, so I
Never mind.
guess.
All right.
No,
Don't,
yeah, you
don't,
must not-
don't
know
waste your
the whole
time then.
premise of the
Yep.
game or the
D-
movie.
don't watch the movie then.
She got
I'm
ahead of
going
it.
to then.
Yeah,
Nope.
fair. Yeah,
Or
so
just
shout
start
out
20
to
minutes in. Just skip. I'll let you know where to start the movie. Okay.
Okay,
Cool.
sounds good.
Children of the Leaf, or I like to say, Leaf Children. Ryan.
Of course. The spiritual successor to Planet of Lana.
Yeah, the direct, otherwise known as the direct sequel.
The goddamn sequel.
We're gonna just do this the whole week.
It goes.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
All right. Well,
All right, Ryan.
I'm gonna give you the most Ryan Turford answer for my number one game, of course. And I'm just gonna be a little selfish here because I could have picked any number of these games here. I could have picked Clockwork Revolution. I think that game looks amazing. I could have picked a couple other games that I think y'all are gonna probably talk about in a bit. If not, I will mention them after we kind of go around here. But I can't not pick this one for my number one. And Sean, I already know it's scrolling to it. It's Ninja Gaiden 4. Like, come on, it's me. It's Ryan Turford. It's the meteorologist of the moose. I'm always going to pick this one. It's been 13 years since the last 3D Ninja Gaiden game. I love Ninja Gaiden. It's one of my all-time favorite video game franchises. And this is almost like a reboot of Ninja Gaiden in a way because you're not playing as Ryu Hayabusa, although they mentioned that you might play as him in certain levels. You're playing as a completely different character who's trying to chase down Ryu. But this trailer didn't really give us the story because we had the story kind of in the last trailer. And this one was just showing you all the gameplay, just showing you how you can just dismember all your enemies with different weapons, from a bow staff to a giant hammer to these like claws on your feet and hands to like your sword to like a battle axe. And this game is flashy as hell. And again, this is the type of trailer that I watch it and I can tell from just watching the trailer that this game is going to be amazing. I just know it. I can, especially from someone who's played these games before. Like it's doing all the things I wanted to do, and this game is also just really synonymous with the history of Xbox as well, going back to the original Xbox with the original Ninja Gaiden that was also published by Microsoft. Because, again, this is a first-party Microsoft title, even though it's being developed by Team Ninja and co-developed by Platinum Games. But this game looks amazing. I can't wait to play it. It's coming out, of course, on October 21st. So it's not too long away. And I think this is going to be one of the best 3D action games we've played in a long time. So I cannot wait for Ninja Gaiden 4. It's doing everything that someone like me who's a Ninja Gaiden fan wants to see. And I can't freaking wait for this game, man. It's going to be awesome.
Ryan, as we watched through the trailer and you were describing through it, one thing that jumped out to me was that entire time we saw, that almost entirely, it was gameplay. That trailer did not hide away from gameplay. They wanted to show you all the different ways you're hacking and slashing and jumping and exploding and doing all the different things. And it looked, you're right, like you have a lot of confidence in it. I think because of that, it looks smooth. It looks great. It's a game that I'm probably not very good at. I've tried when they remastered Ninja Gaiden. Was it Black that they remastered recently?
Yes.
Yeah, you played Black 2? Yeah, the new one.
No, I think it was like just recent. Was that Black 2?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I don't even know what I played.
Because I was gonna say, you
sucked
can
at
play
it.
it.
Is the
I
point.
played it for like 10 minutes.
Sucked at it.
That was bad
They
at
are
it.
hard because those games, for people who don't know, have never played a Ninja Gaiden game before, they're kind of like the Souls games, but really, really, really fast.
Really fast.
And you have to, like, it's all about, knowing when to counter and to parry at the right times.
Timing.
And you really have to study the enemies a lot and their patterns. Because, as someone who's played through Master Ninja difficulty on Ninja Gaiden Black, like, I spent hundreds of hours playing that game in order to beat it because of how difficult it was. But there's something about that difficulty that just makes it fun because the difficulty in the Ninja Gaiden games has never felt to me unfair in a way. Like it's just, you just got to put in your reps, kind of like playing in like an NES game or a Super Nintendo game, which is exactly kind of where my love for the series started with the original games on the NES. So I think it's just a love letter to those games. And again, I can't wait, man. It's gonna
Nice.
You're going to hear me talk about this game a lot, probably when it comes out. I'm going to be.
I want to see you play it. People want to see you
Yes.
stream it. Like, show
Same.
us how. Show us how it's done.
I probably should do that at some point.
It's not a Bowser game, but I would love to watch you play it. It looks gorgeous.
Yeah.
Totally. The style of it it's kind of like Devil May Cry, if I'm being honest. I'm not very good at those games either.
Well,
And they grade you.
Yeah.
They give you a D, or they give me a D anyways.
they all, like, Devil May Cry, Bayonetta, and this all
Those
kind of
games-
come from the same camp of, like, this style of, like, fast action style game. And they all grade you like that. Ninja Gaiden also gives you a grading as well. At the end of the
Oh,
level,
damn.
it'll-
Oh, no.
At the end, no, it doesn't grade you per battle, although there's like a special feature you can turn on to do that. But you get to the end of the level, it'll assign you a ninja class. And depending on what ninja class you have is like
I
depending
get
on how
hobo.
good you did.
That's what I get.
Whereas I always strive for the Master Ninja like badge at the end of every level, which means that you did really good.
Yeah.
Cardboard class, as Mitch
Yeah,
would say.
exactly.
Yeah. What rank are you? I'm Styrofoam 3. What's up?
Yep.
Cardboard 2. No, the fact that he says it grades you.
It
You get a
grades
D.
you.
I'm like, some of us do. Some don't. But man, that game is just like, he's like, I don't like games that give you grades. I don't want to feel like that.
One of my games gives me grades, and I like it. But that's for later. Anybody else jumping in for
Trombone
Ninja Gaiden 4? Coming October 21? Or I'm sorry, 21 of October 2025.
That's
as
right, that's right.
half the
Sean,
world
it
seems
is in
to say.
fact the spiritual successor to Ninja Gaiden 3, also known as Ninja Gaiden 4.
The direct sequel. Yes,
the
indeed.
direct sequel.
Love it.
Yeah.
Coming to Game Pass and all the Xbox things. And it also says Steam and PlayStation 5. You know, this is an Xbox published game. They want you to buy it wherever the hell.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all that matters.
Yeah. I bet, I mean, like I said, on that PS5 Pro, that's going to look real nice, Ryan.
Dude, it's going to be amazing.
It's going to look really nice.
I
yeah.
mean, it already looks like it's, 4K 60 if you go and watch the other trailer.
I was going to say, yeah, I played it on Series X. Well, not this. I played this is all running Unreal 5, just like the remake
Yep.
did, right? Like,
Yep.
I mean, the remake ran really well. So, like, I imagine this one runs well.
I'm curious to see if they go for 120 for this game, because I think it would be really, really interesting if they did.
PC.
Yeah, maybe.
Also, I got to say, the comically
anywhere.
large hammer is great.
Yeah.
The, like, cartoon size hammer is fantastic.
Some of the weapons in Ninja Gaiden are always, like, over the top like that, too. So,
Exactly.
It's funny. I don't know how many people should definitely be aware, and maybe I could have mentioned it at the start. Ryan hosts the RPG Cave, also known as the Role-Playing Game Cave, where primarily you guys are focused on the role-playing games. I don't know that you would count this as a role-playing game.
Nope.
And the reason I bring it up is because you go into deep dives on a lot of different games of the role-playing game variety, and we don't get a chance often enough to hear you kind of go ham about this. So we're gonna have to find a space for you just to kind of like geek out over Ninja
got a
Gaiden.
Are you
place
trying
for
to
it.
Just
say,
come here.
Sean,
I got a place.
I should do
Just
like
come here.
an entire episode just dedicated to the Ninja Gaiden series in general? 'Cause
Whatever-
I could do
Yes.
it. I could do
I
like
could
a
see it.
2-hour episode just talking about Ninja Gaiden, dude.
I could see it, man. Yeah, I love
Man.
seeing you in your element. I love seeing everybody in their element, of course. Equally, nobody stands out. We're just talking about this right now. So shout out to you, man.
I
The
mean,
GUIs is a thing.
yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, we
Well-
got the GUIs, games of our year.
I was gonna say this is the type of game like you can expect me to do probably like some kind of review kind of episode for. But I mean, there's a lot of series that are like that, Sean, that are not role playing games that I'm like really into. Like Mega Man's another one. that I
100%.
can talk about infinitely.
Yeah.
Castlevania, like there's
Yep.
a lot of stuff like that too. that I
Yep,
like.
just like Bowser's going to give us a 2-hour episode about vampire survivors, and then another one about
Oh,
submarine
yeah.
survivors.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
all of them, one
And
at
Sean,
a time.
You better believe when the already announced sequel to Alien Isolation comes out, like you will never hear the end of me.
See, there
talking
you go.
about that game.
I love it.
Love it.
Yeah.
Well,
Awesome.
man, I feel like, and I don't know if I'm putting words in your mouth, but it seems like you got to see a trailer for a game coming out this year that could be very high up on your game of the year. And I think that's one of those simple, unsaid criteria of what makes some of these showcases really great for people is like you're witnessing a potential game of the year right in front of your face. And that's why I think this is maybe your high on this overall showcase, because you got your thing. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah,
Yep.
between this and Persona, like, dude, like those are two of my all-time favorite
Yeah.
franchises, and again, like two games that I have a gut feeling that both of those are going to be like very, very good. So.
Nice. Love it. Cool. Anybody else want to jump in on Ninja Gaiden? I'm bad at the game. I can't wait to watch Ryan play it. I think we're all good there. Fee, what's the last game you wanted to highlight here?
Okay, so I have an issue here. The
damn.
reason why is because I'm currently split between two games I want to talk about.
We can do
One-
honorable mentions too. We can kind of throw
Okay.
stuff in. So whatever you want to do.
Perfect.
Yeah, don't
You know
feel
what?
too
I'll do an
torn.
honorable mention, and then I'll do the
Okay.
one. So you know what? I'm gonna put it like we'll put like 1, 2, and then there's like these are two split to 3. So starting off, I'll start off with like the creepy-ish one. I say creepy. It's kind of like childish whimsy in a way. I'm Grounded too because I know I'm gonna have to play this
Yeah.
game. I know I'm gonna be playing this
I'm
summer.
going to be forced to play it, so let me talk
okay.
about it.
No. But there is something really cool at the very end of the trailer, and it was sold. And it is you get to ride on the back of a spider. Guys, I'm gonna
Yeah.
terrorize everyone by like riding a spider and just attacking things. That is my goal. I'm just going to be causing absolute chaos with my spider companion. I'm gonna have to find a name for it. And no, it's mostly because I know Lucas is like he got really excited, and I was joking while we were live reacting. Like he's a huge fan. He's played the first one quite consistently, and telling him that 2 was coming out, he was super pumped. So I will be playing it this summer, just to see what it's like, because it comes out next month, which is absolutely
That's
mind-boggling.
wild.
That's crazy. July is next month. I hate that. Ugh.
I hate that so much. But I will be playing this game. Shout out. I was interested in trying the first one, but I never really got around to it myself. But now knowing that you can play up to, like, of course you can play with friends. You could play with friends with the first one, but having the mounts, I think, is a game changer. So shout out to that, because I was concerned. I'm like, ants, like, cool. But then at the very end, when you got to see the 2 spiders going at each other, I'm like, yes.
Oh yeah.
I am sold for this. I love
Left
I know
spiders.
that this trailer specifically focused more on like the adventuring and the combat.
Mhm.
So I'm interested to see, does that play more of a role than the base building compared to the first?
Yeah, I hope so, because usually when we do play games like this, I'm usually the person going out and adventuring. Like, I know when I used to play Don't Starve together quite consistently, I was the person going out into like the absolute craziest regions to try to find things, and then I would come back in like a week and a half. I never stayed, like, I never went back home. I was just like, it's the same way when it comes to Minecraft. So I'm hoping that there is more of an element of like kind of like defense and also being able to go out and hunting rather than having to stay and do base building, which like is fun and stuff, but I find that I get overly stressed out about it. So I'm more of like a go hack and slash kind of person if I have to play those types of games. So here's hoping, fingers crossed. But yeah, any other thoughts, anyone, on Grounded 2 before I continue on with my other third option?
I'm definitely interested in it. I'd love to do more co-op. I played Grounded 1 essentially by myself, so I think the co-op's where it's at.
I was gonna say we played it in the community, Sean, and
Yep.
we had fun, but we only really played it for a week because it was still like kind of an early access. And we
Yeah.
kind of gotten to like the end point of where it was in early access, and just never went back to the.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
the
we really did.
downside
There
of this
wasn't-
like game preview. Like,
Yep.
just get it out there.
Yeah.
That was the thing that prevented me from playing Grounded, is I had a bad experience due to the fact there was a glitch that happened in game preview, and I was just like, I'm good.
Yeah.
Like, I was
Yeah.
bummed. I was like, oh. And again, I wasn't upset at the. I mean, I get it. It was a game preview game, right? You're expecting those things to happen, but I'm just like,
That's also why this
looks
one,
awesome
like,
though. It does look good.
Yeah, I'm interested in this one, but it's also just like it's game preview next month, so I'm more kind of want to just wait until the final release before. Playing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I'm with you,
agree.
Ryan.
That's
I'd like to wait for the 1.0 and then jump into it with some friends.
I'm curious to see what sort of like transition they might have, or how do you get people from Grounded 1 jumping over to Grounded 2? Like, is there some sort of incentive or carryover or something like that? Like, I'm just trying to put my Grounded hat on for those who play that game. I was also thinking, like, if I was less of a podcaster and more of a streamer, I would play games like this very often, but like the weekly sort of almost serialized nature of the content that we put out on podcasts. I'm not one to like stick with one game for an extended period of time, which is what this is. And that's regretful because I miss out on games like this. I miss out on Fallout 76 and countless other games that actually have a lot of my attention and I'm interested in, but I kind of just play new stuff, or I kind of comb through stuff. So we'll see. I don't know. I keep saying I want to play The Division 2, so there's that as well. So shout out to Grounded 2. I wasn't expecting that. That was a bit of a surprise.
Yeah.
Because I kind of just thought
Not
they
on
would
my
ride out
radar.
Grounded 1. But now here we are with the spiritual successor, also a direct sequel to the first Grounded. Yes.
Oh, yeah. No, absolutely.
Shout out,
And
Fee. Nice. Also,
shout-
your spider traveler could be the
Yeah.
Octopath Traveler.
Ooh.
Or the Project Octopath Traveler, Sean.
Yep. You could try something like that on.
Perfect. I like this a lot. I was going to shout out another game, but I think Bowser's going to shout out another game that I want to talk about. So I'm going to wait and hold in on that
Oh,
one.
yes, we'll see.
Who knows? But Animo, guys, I have to shout it out. I'm I am like excited because there's a cute little otter companion that you can have. My only concern is it is free to play, but I'm excited to see and check it out. I will definitely be checking it out when it comes out. The music seemed really upbeat, and the complete opposite of what I've been kind of shouting out during my choices, because I've been choosing like dark fantasy, like murder, and now it's just like really
Vampires.
cutesy, like animals. Yeah, exactly. So no, I'm very interested on this game. The only reason why I'm slightly concerned is because one of the free to play games that I was recently playing quite consistently kind of burned me a little bit. So I'm curious to see how this one goes. Who knows? I might just completely forget about this, but I will like the otters. This is so cute, like little
It's
fluffy
adorable.
companions. It's adorable. You get to turn into them to be able to do like specific missions and quests and stuff. So also, I kind of like the character design. I know that there was like another game that was similar to this, but it seemed like all the characters were kind of like short and like kiddish, and this one's completely different. So I'm very excited to check out this one in particular. I don't know. It's just like the overall, like the overlay seems like kind of like crisp. It's not too overwhelming or anything like that. And just being able to just like go around an adventure. And also he gets like a little like shell, like I guess mace that he goes around and hits people with it, which is very funny to me. So of course I do. So no, I'll definitely be checking out this one once it does come out. I believe this one comes out in 2026. So yeah, I am very interested to see how this one goes. But yeah, it's just so cute, guys. It's so freaking. It's mostly because it's cute that I'm really interested in this one.
No,
I'm not
with
gonna
you.
lie, not really good on game mechanic wise. It's just really cute.
I'm with you on this. Like, I actually love the level of cuteness. I think this game looks cool. It's just, yeah, I have the same worry, Fia, especially with, games like, Infinity Nikki, and some other free-to-play games that I've played that have really kind of burned me in the same way, where it's just like, it's hard for me to get excited about new free-to-play games like this.
Yeah.
Especially because I already know in the back of my mind, when this game comes out, it also won't allow you to invert your controls, which will make me very sad. Because that's kind of been a consistent thing upon a lot of free-to-play games lately. So, I want this game to be good. I want it to be awesome, but I also have the same worry. I also am just waiting for that cease and desist letter to come from Nintendo.
Seriously.
Which I'm expecting
Yeah.
in the mail any day now.
Yarden brings that up in the chat, but what was the other game? Power
Power
World.
World.
They got sued for literally just the catch mechanic.
Yep.
Even though all of the characters were like literally knockoffs of Pokemon. Like it wasn't the characters. It wasn't that concept. It was just the catch mechanic.
Well, they did that on purpose because I remember watching a podcast where they were interviewing a lawyer who talked about that, and it was like they can't like they had
Can't
to
do
go
look and
they
feel.
had to go at from that angle, and there was a specific legal reason why they did that.
So
Yeah.
if this one doesn't have that catch mechanic, is what are
No,
they
but there
gonna
might be
sue
some
on
other
this one?
mechanic.
Yeah.
They
They're
not
might
gonna
find some other
sue.
mechanic when it comes out. Yeah,
But
I mean,
Oh, they're definitely going to sue. Whether or not they'll be successful is a different story.
Fair.
yeah.
I don't know. It's just like I understand that Pokemon exists, but at the same time, like you can't sue everyone who makes a cutesy game with like characters, like
Yeah.
cutesy little like creatures that you can like essentially have as friends. In
Right.
this
We
case, it
have
looked-
Digimon, you guys.
Yeah,
we already
have-
have Digimon and Yu-Gi-Oh! And
Master
all, like-
Chief has a gun. Duke
Yu-Gi-Oh
Nukem's
is a
going to
card
sue.
game, Sean. That's different. Okay.
Yeah.
do you think they saw the catch mechanic and they were like, oh, they're getting sued for that? Hey, go tell Frank to change that right now. Like they immediately, yeah. Frank over there in animations, hey, go fix that catch animation.
Yeah.
Please,
Shout
thanks,
out
bro.
to
Yep.
Frank.
Shout out to
Exactly.
Frank.
Shout out to Frank. Yeah.
Love
Nice.
Frank.
Nice. Was that all your honorable mentions, etc., Fee?
I mean, I had like another honorable mention. I had like
What do you got?
Mudang 2 Hearts. Looked pretty cool. It was the Korean game, the kind of the zombie Korean game that they showed, because once again, and I think it's like the essence of like how I felt when it came to some of these games was we have no idea what this is, which is like I want to know more about it. I have never heard of EVR before, like EVR. Just the overall idea that like yes, it is zombies. It kind of almost gives. Funny enough, Sean, with the Division, because they had Extermination, I think. What was that the third one that they came out with that was supposed to be Pandemic, but then they had to change the name of it because
That
it
was Rainbow
like,
Six Extraction.
Oh, Rainbow Six Extraction. My apologies. I got the games mixed up. Here I am being terrible at knowing franchises.
It's all good. It's all Tom Clancy.
It's all, you know what? It's all Tom Clancy. I don't feel bad
Yeah.
anymore. I actually at all. But no, it's like very curious. I'm like, what is happening? Like, it seems as though there's some sort of like, at least like hostile takeover. And then we see like these people who are infected, whether it's almost like that, the Rainbow Six game where it's just a bunch of people who are plagued with some sort of disease or something like that. But there is some sort of stealth with it. Obviously, I'm not going to probably play this, but I'm very curious to see my friends who do really enjoy these types of games, what their thoughts are on this. Just because there is like a whole like injection of like a zombie, or at least some sort of like plague or something that's causing it, whether it's like a bioterrorism like specific item. I don't know what's going on here, but yeah, I'm just curious on what's going on. Like I said, it's not usually a game I would shout out or like choose, but like I'm very curious with, especially being what I'm not like from what I think it is. I think it's a new studio. I'm just curious what where they're coming out from, because we don't get to see too often a Korea-based, like at least South Korea-based like video game. So I'm just curious what's going on here.
Well, most of them we usually see are on like the free to play side. So
True.
it's or on the strategy side, because a lot of strategy games come out of there. But it was interesting because it's almost like a stealthy kind of Resident Evil kind of survival horror game where you also for some reason also play as like a K-pop star who's also escaping this like office as well.
See, K-pop was here.
That's what I mean.
Just wasn't Just Dance.
Actually, the half point.
But,
Me too. Okay, between that and Animo, I feel like I'm getting close to some sort of like K-pop adjacent point.
it's close enough. But
Yeah, it's close enough.
It looks interesting. I'm curious to learn more about that game.
Yeah.
Same, yeah. More gameplay, I would say, and a date. I think would also kind of bring that home for me. But I'm glad you called it out because looking at the trailer again does look pretty interesting. Before we go to Mitch on your third pick, I want to bring in Croco Kyle from the Discord. Said, "Well, damn, Xbox just blew Jeff Keighley out of the damn water. Best showcase of the 3 this week, easy." They sure flaunted Silksong a lot while showing off their new handheld. Hope we get a release date soon. So lots of different takes. I was saying, and
Holiday
I think
2025.
there you go. Yeah, holiday.
Yep.
I think also speaking of Jeff Keighley, Ryan, you were looking at the poll that he does over on X, formerly known as Twitter, the spiritual successor to
The
Twitter.
spiritual successor to Twitter.
It's
And
not
yeah,
Twitter too.
B and A being the most popular choices from people watching this week's showcase.
He's also not the only one I've seen do a poll like that. That is also very similar numbers. Destin Legary had one that also was very similar, and I've seen a few other content creators running very similar polls with very similar results. So I
There you
think
go.
the
That's
audience itself,
I think-
pretty high on this showcase.
I think what we've learned today is Xbox needs to be the day before Summer Game Fest next year. Needs to be Thursday.
Kick it off. Yeah, so I'm not
Kick it
so
off.
tired by the
so
time.
Sean's not
Yeah.
tired.
Yeah.
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 And they just give me a Fallout remake, and then everything
Yeah.
else is fine. Then that's
Exactly.
it.
I can't wait for like Thursday. They drop that on the Xbox Wire. Of
That'd
like,
be
how was
great.
this showcase, buddy?
Right.
Exactly.
Honestly,
Yeah.
I wouldn't even be mad that later on this year when they show like the very first episode of Fallout season 2, they're like, by the way, here's New Vegas.
Yep.
And then like
Yep.
a remake of New Vegas. I'd be like,
Give it to
okay,
me.
cool. Give
Yeah,
it to
Gamescom.
me. Like, exactly.
There's always hope. Nice.
Fingers crossed.
All right, Mitch, is there anything else we haven't talked about that you've got for us? Your third game for us to talk about?
Yeah, definitely. Spiritual successor, I want to say, to Tony Hawk 1 and 2. It's Tony Hawk 3 and 4. Just throwing it out there.
Favorite.
Tony Hawk.
Tony Hawk
34
3
years
plus
old.
4. Yeah, 34 years old, exactly. So obviously I'm a big Tony Hawk fan. I love the Tony Hawk games. Tony Hawk games made me stop playing video games actually and made me do skateboarding instead. But I just played the demo because the demo just got launched on Xbox and PlayStation. However, Ryan was quick to point out you have to pre-order the game if you want to get the demo, or if you have Game Pass, you just get the demo.
I think that like takes away the definition of demo. It's not a demo if you
it's
have
a pre-order
to buy it.
bonus now. Yeah,
It's a
Yeah, I
demo
don't
that
like
you pay
that.
for. It's fine.
exactly.
that's not-
Oh, that's really stupid.
And
I hate
actually,
that.
I remembered back, Mitch, to when 1 and 2 came out, because actually the same thing happened with 1 and 2 as
I think
well,
you're
Yeah.
right.
where there was a demo
Yeah,
for
it's
it, and it
terrible.
was a paid demo.
I just played the demo, and it definitely feels really good still. Like, it feels just like Tony Hawk does. Visually looks really good. I am a big fan of them going the route of just, the skaters that they have in there. My favorite part, actually, which I was just like, oh yeah, I forgot they did this. At the beginning of the demo, it actually plays a reel of like actual skate clips from the skateboarders that are in the game. And I'm like,
Yeah.
holy crap, I forgot they used to do that. And then, of course, the secret characters that they keep adding. They added
Oh, there's a beautiful
Michelangelo.
slice of pizza there.
Yeah, right. And of course, again, like, this is in pure Activision, where they're like, what licenses do we have access to right now? Just throw them in Tony Hawk. Turtles being in Tony Hawk is perfect. It's perfect. It fits so
Yep.
well. And then, of course, you randomly have Doomslayer, which is nuts. And again, that's just insane.
Well, he was
He's
actually
totally a skater.
He was an
100%.
unlockable character in a previous Tony Hawk game,
Right.
so they brought
It's
him
just-
back again for this.
I'm very happy that, and like I said, after what I played of it, it's Tony Hawk, man, and Tony Hawk's super fun. I do want to give honorable mentions, even though I don't agree with the placement of it. Call of Duty's campaigns have always been awesome. And that, if you go back and just watch the trailer, forget what place it was in the show. That shit looks wild. Like, I don't know what is. No one thought that was Call of Duty.
Exactly. How long did it take before we landed on, oh, this is Call of Duty?
Until it started appearing as the title.
Yeah.
That's when we all of a sudden were like, oh, wait, this is Call of Duty. Everybody in the chat was straight up Quantum Break 2, Quantum Break 2. Everybody was convinced. And then all of a sudden, some like weird stuff happened. Some creepy stuff started happening. And everybody's like, what is going on in this game? And then all of a sudden, we're like, wait, this is Black Ops? Like, what are we talking about right now? Visually, obviously, Call of Duty games look great. I mean, we already know that. I mean, again, take away the placement of it. If you didn't watch the showcase and you just watched this trailer, you'd be like, this looks wild. Like, what is happening in this? Again, the campaigns have always fun. It's on Game Pass, dude. Like, whatever. Just download it and try it out. It's going to be fun. It's, not going to be that long of a campaign. But I was just shocked that this was a Call of Duty game. I wouldn't have guessed that just by watching what I'm watching so far. So, and it gets a whole lot more weird here real soon. But I do want to give an honorable mention to that.
Yeah, I like the fact that this was just the campaign. There was no mention of any multiplayer or anything. This was like, look at this weird thing happening here. And I think, so I played the Black Ops 6 campaign last year because Game Pass, why wouldn't I? And it had like some Death Stranding-like moments in it. And this one was kind of giving me a little bit of like Control moments. I thought, yeah, I'm in for it. Let's give this a go. And like you said, it's not going to be a terribly long campaign, but it'll be fun.
I was on the same boat with everybody else, thinking this was Control, Quantum Break, something. I was very much, and again, like it just gave you that vibes. Like this is Call of Duty. What?
Yep.
This is Call of Duty?
Yeah, since when did I care about the world and the setup and the premise, really, in Call of Duty? Yeah.
I mean, most Call of Duty games are just, big bad guy gonna go boom on a big city and kill a bunch of people, go stop him, right? Yeah. This looks like you're going to Stranger Things upside down, going to do some weird stuff here. So, I mean, I'm for the fact that they're going like this like horror like ish sci-fi route, which I mean, obviously they already had zombies and they do kind of like do some weird stuff there. But I mean, yeah.
But not the main campaign. Like it's
not the main campaign, right? Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. Usually main campaign is super military focused, Black Ops, like special missions, stopping big bad guy. There's a lot of weirdness that's happening in here, but I do want to give an honorable mention to it because, like I said, I just think we all kind of were like, oh yeah, it's the end of the show. Like, why are they showing Call of Duty? But just watching that trailer again and forgetting that happened, this is pretty cool. And it's on Game Pass again. Just go try it.
Just reliving like the reveal of what it is being called. It's just so funny. Like, oh, and I like that was my most genuine response to it. It was like, oh, Call of Duty. And then, like everything you said is super fair and I like Call of Duty. Like I'm not a detractor from. I'm always the one going campaign. 100%. I'm always like trying to take down and dismantle it's cool to hate on Call of Duty. But even with all that, like my genuine response to I don't know why I can't explain it. Again, maybe I was just tired.
It was honestly, well, it could have been that, hungry. But I just think honestly, I think it was just the last reveal. We all wanted it to be something that wasn't already known by the entire world that was going to happen. We already knew
it was going to happen. That's it.
But I didn't know. They took a year off from Call of Duty. I thought
it
was possible that they would do an every other year for Call of Duty under the Xbox umbrella.
Maybe, yeah, I get. I mean, I get. Like you're right. And they did take a year off Call of Duty campaign. They did. I don't know. Like that was, I think, the one thing that was just Black Ops 4 did not have a campaign.
Oh, that year, not this recent year.
No, not. Yeah, 2023. There wasn't a campaign, right?
That's right. It was multiplayer only. That is correct. Yeah. So like, you're right. They could have missed the campaign. Yeah, they could have missed the campaign and everything, but I don't know. In my head, we already know Call of Duty happens every year. So just the fact that your big one last thing happened to be that
was it entirely. It was just the placement of it.
It was just placement. If anybody else saw that, and if that was in the middle of the show, which again, you'd think, do you put Call of Duty in the middle of the show? No, it's your biggest franchise. It makes
but then even like 20 seconds of just a little shooty gunplay. Like that would have been kind of neat for me to see as well. Like, all right, that's Call of Duty. And like, and like that would have been kind of fun for me to see. But that I mean, I'm being picky.
Or honestly, I think they could have just started the show with Call of Duty, and it probably would have felt
100%. Yes.
Like if they would have switched that with Outer Worlds, honestly, I think it would have just made things flow a little bit better.
Bowser
That actually would have
disagrees.
been like a pretty solid. Yeah, it's so weird, right? Swap the games, just swap the games, and like make Clockwork Orange the final game, and just
I think
showcase
we would have
that.
all been incredibly disappointed if Outer Worlds 2 was the end.
I
Knowing
agree
that
with
there
that.
was
Yes.
an Outer Worlds 2 direct right after. That's
Sure.
my
But they
point.
did that
Like,
with
we
Starfield,
knew
and
that
I-
was happening.
Yeah, but they did that with Starfield, and I didn't.
Did they do that with Call of Duty last year?
They
did
did.
they start?
I don't recall.
I think
Because
they
Call of
started
Duty-
with it because it was the same format as this
Yeah,
year,
it
where
was
the
like-
end of it was going to be a direct. It was going to be a deep dive into it. So they did the same thing. They opened with it and said, "Stick around at the end. We're going to deep dive deeper into it." So there's that, and I think like we did this on stream as well, and it's worth mentioning here. Bowser, you posed a really good question. Like, what should they have closed with? We were looking at that graphic that is going around the internet right now, all the different games. And this is where I kind of struggle a little bit. Like, I'm not sure of all these games, even though we've talked about a lot of them today. And I'm excited, and I'm excited that you guys are excited. I don't know that there's any one that I land on and go like, that could have closed the show. So maybe it's just, it's tough to close these things because
It was a
the
lot of,
expectations are
like,
high.
B plus games.
That's fair.
Which
Yep.
ones you finish on?
Yep, that's very fair, for
Why
sure.
not the one that makes the most money?
Mitch, did you have any other honorable mentions? Thanks for bringing up Call of Duty, because I mean it's
Yeah.
worth mentioning. It's a pretty big
Yeah.
deal, that Call
Yeah.
of
I'm
Duty.
excited for that.
Yeah, the only last two things I'll say. One, High on Life 2. I went back and watched the trailer. I don't think that's gameplay. I think that's a CGI trailer, which is going to bum me out because it looked really, really good and it looked like it was actual gameplay, but I don't think it is. But also, it's free on Game Pass, which is why I like the first one so much because I just played it and it was just fun. Can you pull that graphic up real fast again?
I got you.
The other one was, it didn't get announced earlier, or maybe it did, and we were just talking over it. Gears Reloaded has a beta weekend happening this upcoming weekend. So that was new announced. So you can do multiplayer this upcoming weekend, June 13th. So cool story
So
there.
dust off your PS5s, everybody, and play it
Yeah,
on
let's go.
other
Yeah.
consoles.
I mean, I don't know if that is going to be, the beta is going to be on PS5 or not. It might be for
It
pre-order
takes
people.
place across all platforms according to the description.
So there
There
you
you
go.
go.
That makes
Yeah.
sense. Like that's
Do you
got to
have
be
to
the
buy it
point of
first,
all
though?
this.
Yeah, as long as you
Yeah,
pre-
you got to
I-
buy it first.
No, well,
Yeah,
it says
well, all
beta,
of us
that's
Game Pass
fine.
people will be fine. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, according to the description, across all platforms, Game Pass Ultimate and Game Pass PC members will get it, as well as people who already own Gears Ultimate, as well as anyone who's pre-ordered Gears Reloaded.
So
Oh,
basically,
okay.
if you-
Beta.
so
It's a
pre-ordered
closed
on
beta.
PS5. Yeah, pre-order PS5, you'll get it there. If you have Game Pass, you just get it
Yeah,
regardless.
Yep.
Like,
or
you're
if
gonna
or if
it
you don't have
regardless.
Game Pass but you own Gears Ultimate, you
Yeah,
also
correct.
have it
Yep.
too.
Right.
Nice. All right. Bowser, what do you got? Honorable mentions and really just whatever else you want to highlight here. There's no rules.
Yeah.
I mean, honorable mentions. Final Fantasy 16. I really, really enjoyed that game. I'm glad it's coming to Xbox finally. Like, I'm glad that Square's continuing this trend of putting things out on Xbox. Go play it if you haven't. It's some epic moments. It was a blast. Plus Ben Starr. Like, what more do you need? Let's see. I'm excited to check out the DLC for Indiana Jones. That'll be fun as well.
Nice.
But I think everything else that I'm really excited for has been covered, except the one thing, and I know Fee teed me up for this earlier, but if you've been listening to the Xbox Drive recently, you know the style of game I've really been into, and that is games where I get to spray things. And whether that's a pressure washer, I'm spraying blood off the sidewalk under dead bodies, or it's a spray paint gun where I'm painting an entire bridge in the middle of nowhere, doesn't matter. They gave me one of those games, and that is There Are No Ghosts at the Grand. And then bonus, there's a cat. What is not to love about this game? Apparently you show up here, your grandfather, I think, was renovating this hotel,
Yep.
and now you show up and you're in charge, and some little old guy gives you a gun with different functions. So now you're blasting the wallpaper off, and then you're blasting pattern paint and or wallpaper back onto the walls. I'm here for it. I don't care what the story of the game is. I just want to spray stuff. That's my thing right now.
I had no idea what was going on in this trailer. There's this guy singing and she telling all this stuff, and all of a sudden he puts this gun in your hand. There's a very Fallout-esque kind of, or even Cuphead kind of character looking at, and all of a sudden you start spraying stuff, and collectively, we were watching this live together, and collectively we all went like, oh, and we were all kind of in at that one moment. This looks like the biggest budget power wash simulator I've ever seen. They've got story, they got different mechanics, and it looks really nice.
You're spraying things back to their places, like a magic type of deal. Like all those books just went back on the shelves. So it's just like
the grandfather
also,
was like fixing the town, and it's up to you to like fix the town.
Yeah, it's
that
like
he's passed away.
Magical abilities to put things back in their places. It seems like there's going to be quite a bit of story here, which is one thing that Spray Paint Simulator is missing out on. Shout outs to Crime Scene Cleaner, which did have a good story.
Yep.
And then there's this cat.
Yeah.
The cat sold it for
The
me.
cat.
Guys.
That's it. The cat's riding on my scooter in front of me. I'm down.
He talks.
Yeah.
Cat's talking to me. I'm here for this.
It looks very creative. I definitely have to give it that. And a lot of, like we talked about at the start, it's worth mentioning here at the end as well. A lot of variety. We got a JRPG remake. We got a spiritual successor to a lot of different things, but Super Meat Boy is up in here. Like we got a lawsuit worthy game and Nemo, all sorts of different stuff. And then we got our Bowser game as well, which is very nice, man. I really liked our coverage of this. Yeah.
See, you know why I'm like excited for this? I got lighthouses and cats and spray guns. Like, what else are you gonna do for me?
Yeah,
there is nothing
that's
else.
pretty good.
Vampire
man.
Survivors 2, the spiritual successor to Vampire Survivors, was not here, but I will hold out hope.
Yeah, I get it. Yep. Anything else you wanted to highlight, Bowser, as you take a sip?
That's it for me.
Okay, quick shout out for me is going to sound a little weird because it got its own direct at the very end. But shout out to Outer Worlds 2.
Oh yeah.
Somehow we missed this, and I'll point at myself on that one. Outer Worlds is really great. It's very charming, and Obsidian is excellent, and not probably. There's no doubt about Obsidian is the top developer at Xbox right now. Just the output and the quality, very, very good. So shout out to the Outer Worlds, one of many space-based games that was highlighted here, which, maybe I'd expect me to be higher on it just because there's so much space. This game, I don't know how to pronounce it. Aphelion, instantly captured my attention. You got this astronaut who's in trouble, crash lands on a icy kind of planet. You're not really sure what kind of game this is until it jumps on later in the trailer, and it looks kind of like parkourish, adventure-ish kind of thing. Not too much action, Ryan, but more environmental storytelling, environmental exploration, and just surviving this stark planet from this game from Dannohh. And this is one of those, oddly enough, didn't think I would be talking like this about Dannohh a number of years ago. I see that logo and I'm like, okay, we got Dannohh, we got a space game. I'm kind of intrigued. And this would be my third game that I would highlight here as something I want to make sure that we spotlight as one that jumped out to me, my friend.
Yeah, this is actually on my list. I actually decided not to tee it up because I teed it up because I figured you were going to talk about it.
Yeah.
Because not only that, but did you know from reading the description? First of all, they mentioned in the trailer it's in partnership with the European Space Agency, but they talk about it in the description on Xbox that this game is going to focus on real world science when it comes to like all the space stuff they're going to talk about with this game. So I'm expecting it to be a very nerdy space game that you're going to be just falling down things, because half the trailer is literally her falling down things.
Fighting gravity, basically.
But also being
Gravity's
a Dannohh
a bitch.
game, I think like the story is going to be like really interesting as well. Like I think they're probably going to go somewhere with some of the stuff. Like it's going to make you feel something, and I'm really excited about this one. I think it looks really cool.
Definitely. Aphelion is how I'm pronouncing it anyways. This one, I've lost my place on the screen here, but I'm not sure. Was this one coming to Game Pass?
Let me take a look. It is
Scrolling madly.
It is day one on Game Pass. Yes.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh,
and
yeah.
And we got a date for this one?
I want
2026.
Damn. Okay.
I want a Sean stream of this and Garrett Bland in chat asking you to identify elements on the periodic table.
I mean, really, I should be playing Starfield again. There's lots of other games that I should be getting around to. I'm also open. If you guys want, if I've been talking about games, you're like, just play this, hit me up. My DMs are open. You can hit me up on Discord and tag me in the Discord and whatnot. Just type away, Bowser. Are you
Type away.
You're gonna type? Okay, yeah, just because I need help. This is a cry for help.
Type away.
Actually, because I don't know what the
Gotcha.
heck to do with myself aside from that. All right. Any other special things that we haven't really discussed yet? Like there's as it turns out, quite a lot of games covered here. I think we did a pretty decent job.
Oddly enough, Sean, I'm looking at the sheet. I think we covered every single game except for like the Invincible fighting game and then the DLC expansion for Age of Mythology. So I think we did a pretty good job of
Kind of nice way of doing it.
we
The
hit
Beast of
most
Reincarnation was the Game Freak game.
Oh, that's
that
right.
looked pretty neat
We didn't
too.
talk about that either.
I'm like tentatively excited about that.
Yeah.
Agreed.
It's Game Freak. I know to keep my expectations in check for that one.
I think you're right, Ryan. We covered, yeah.
And we
Gears
didn't talk
Reloaded.
about the solo leveling game either, which of course based off the anime, which is called Solo Leveling, Sean, but it's 4 players.
There you go.
Yeah.
The title just lies to you.
Quadruple leveling.
Yeah.
I love it. Cool. Well, did we do it? Did we do that's what we set out to do? About a 2-hour
it.
episode here of the Xbox Drive, episode number 390, 10 away from 400. Of course, joined by the meteorologist on the Moose, Ryan Turford. It was lovely to have you here, watching the show with us live. Lovely to have you reacting to it and offering your thoughts and keeping us all educated on all the facts and figures you got. Keeping that brain of yours, that big beautiful brain of yours, Ryan. It was great to have you back on the show, my friend. And Mitch, thanks for reminding us that Call of Duty is worthy to get excited about. I
Seriously.
appreciate you. Yeah.
Thank you.
Seriously.
Seriously.
For real. Okay.
It is. It was good.
Nice. Before I thank everybody who makes this all possible over at patreon.com/carpoolgaming, why don't we go around the horn and let everybody know where they can find you? Like Mitch on Twitch. Mitch, why don't we go tell the people where they can find you on the internet, my friend?
You can find me everywhere at Mitch Power 1116. I don't know when I'm streaming again. I don't know what's up. Like I'll probably
Damn.
stream over the weekend of some Apex or something. But yeah, definitely want to get more YouTube stuff out. Get some more content there. If you have not already seen Doom be beaten on Nightmare difficulty, you can go watch that on my YouTube. Let's go do
Fair
that.
enough. Okay. Nice. Fee, why don't you tell everybody where they can find you on the internet?
You guys can find me here on the Xbox Drive every Friday. You can find me over on the Discord at Zoranix. You can find me over at Twitch. I'm at twitch.tv/Zoranix, where I will be playing a bunch of demos, guys. I'm playing some after. I'm gonna go make dinner, and then I'm gonna go hop on the old Twitch and play some demos. And then this week is Next Fest, and I have some days off work, so
I'm jealous.
there's gonna be some day streams of just me playing a bunch of different demos. So go and check me out over there.
Very nice. Ryan Turford, tell us where we can find you on the internet.
Absolutely. Well, first of all, you can always find me anytime over on the RPG Cave podcast right here on Carpool Gaming. We talk about role-playing games all the time, although this week I'm talking about Magic the Gathering cards. So please be excited for that. You can also find me anytime in the Discord at Ryan Turford. I'm not on socials, but I am on the Discord. You can also find me on backlogged.com at Ryan Turford, where I log all the games I've been playing this year. I'm at game 32 of games I've beaten this year. Please be
This
excited.
year?
Yeah,
Nice.
I just finished Final Fantasy 3 for the first time, Sean. It was pretty fun.
Oh, I got that game too. I got the Pixel remasters on
Yeah.
Switch.
Well,
Dang.
the last 3 games I finished for the first time this year: Final Fantasy 3, Golden Axe 2, and The Last of Us Part 2 remastered. So I'm having a year.
Wow.
I'm also on Letterboxd at Ryan Turford talking about movies, so you can check me out there.
I gotta
As
get
well.
on
And
Letterboxd.
last but not least, Sean, you can find me on Xbox Live at Mirage3160, just like Eric Lindros.
Just like
Thank you
Eric
very much
Lindros.
for having me on the show. I appreciate y'all bringing me on. This was fun.
This was nice. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. All right, Bowser, any plugs? Where can people find you on the internet, my friend?
You can find me all over the Carpool Gaming, especially on Patreon this week. Just so you know, there will be things. But
Oh.
also, find me on your Switch too at friend code 181039892104, also like Eric Lindros. And then Bowser13 on Xbox and Blue Sky and Instagram, and then hop into Discord and hang out and have good times.
Like, nobody even knows who Eric Lindros is. I love this like stretching this bit from. Oh man, it's just.
What are you talking about?
ridiculous.
He's a famous hockey player.
I know who he is. I'm just
I
saying.
know
Like,
who
Mitch
he
doesn't know who
is,
Eric
but it's
Lindros
fun.
is.
I don't have a damn clue who that is, bro, but I'll keep the joke
Exactly.
going.
Yeah, yeah. What about Pavel Bure? What was his number? 9?
God bless you. What?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Shout out to Pavel Bure, Ryan.
Shoutouts.
All right.
know.
As for me, you can find me on Blue Sky and a bunch of other different places at CPG Sean. Mostly find me here on Twitch. I cannot stop going live here on Twitch, playing demos, playing games, spinning wheels, doing tournament brackets, etc., as well as in the Discord. I've had just an amazing time covering Summer Game Fest. There's been so much going on over here at Carpool Gaming on Patreon, on Twitch, on everything, man. We've covered so much. We hope that you guys have been able to enjoy at least part of it. We appreciate everybody being here with us in the chat for this here episode, as well as all the other reacts that we've been doing. It comes to a close pretty soon, which I'm a little sad about, Bowser.
Don't forget, donations to Extra Life through tomorrow enter you into the giveaway. So please.
Well, for video viewers, audio listeners, this will all
Whatever.
be over by then.
Maybe I'll give them something special too.
There you go. Yeah.
Oh, dang.
Don't forget to donate for those kids, extra-life.org/participant/carpool gaming. Very easy to do, especially if you've donated before. It's very, very easy to do. So very quick, go ahead and do that. I think that brings us to the end of the episode 390. So I will go ahead and thank everybody who makes this possible over at patreon.com/carpoolgaming. We could not, would not, should not, could not, would not do it without you. So thank you to our ultimate producers, Jonathan Brown, who does the show's music, and you can go listen to that and so much more over at linktree/pme.jib. I listen to it all the time. You should too. Links are in the show notes. And also, TechMike, or Technical Michael, who reminds you that whether you are Kevesi or Agnian or Californian or Armenian, you are a Xenobabe at heart, Ryan. Thank you to our platinum producers, Angel Patton, Peje EP, The Captain, and Tim Paullin, and our gold members, Adam K, Anna, Awesome Dave 1337, Brad Moore, Brian Reese, Cecily Carrozza, Dan and Luma, Dannohh, Emily O'Kelly, Jan 32, Laura, Ligerwood 330, Mr. Giggles, OldMrFrump, Patrice Mallette, Stephen Keller, and the Tony Baker. You guys are incredible. We couldn't do it without you. So thank you so much. If you are a listener and enjoyer of our content and you haven't done so already, go to the URL www.patreon.com/carpoolgaming. Sign up for the tier that works for you. The $5 tier is the most popular. It gets you all that exclusive content, a deluge, an absolute monumental avalanche that you will drown in content. Even if you're in for that sort of thing, we're the Patreon for you. For me, for Ryan, for Fee, for Mitch, for Bowser, thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Say bye, Mitch.
Goodbye, everybody.
Thanks so much for tuning into this episode of the Xbox Drive. Now, before you drive off, be sure to like and subscribe on YouTube and follow Carpool Gaming on socials. Don't forget that we've got some awesome Xbox Drive merch on carpoolgaming.com, and you can also support the show on Patreon at patreon.com/carpoolgaming for exclusive content. Links to everything are in the description. We'll see you next week.